People who never hold a 9 to 5 usually end up skating through life.
Boy, my old man had some great advice.
On the next.
Greetings from the Summit in Houston, Texas, where tonight the spotlight shines on the best of the best in the International Hockey League as they celebrate their 51st season with the IHL All-Star Weekend, beginning with the Heritage Game and the IHL Skills Competition tonight from the Summit. Good evening, everyone. John Allers alongside color analyst Darryl Ray. And Darryl, tonight we got plenty of activities at the Summit. Not maybe the best hockey you're ever going to see in the world, but the reunion team from the WHA Houston Aeros gets together with the gold medal team from the U.S. 1980 Olympics. And while the fans won't see the greatest hockey in the world, they love this kind of hockey.
Oh, they really do. Some of the names that became very familiar in the 70s here on the Aeros side. I looked in the locker room before I came up here, and Geritol in the water bottles tonight on that side. On the other side, it's going to be nice to see Jimmy Craig, Mike Ruzioni, some of the big names off that 80 Olympic team.
Yeah, well, things will pick up a little bit as the IHL Skills Competition will take place a little bit later on. And while the guys will tell you they don't take it all that seriously, they take it seriously.
Oh, yeah, you want to believe they do. And it's the fear of embarrassment, I think, is what comes into play. And it's a tough night to be a goaltender. There's no question whatsoever. When you look down at the skill competitions that are going to go on tonight, you look right down to the bottom, to the breakaway relay. That's the one everybody enjoys the most. Mono-a-mono, shooters against goalies.
Well, always sticking up for the old union with those goaltenders is Darryl. Let's go down to ice level right now. We're standing by with the captains for tonight's Heritage Game is our Amy Stone.
Thanks, John. I'm here with Terry Ruskowski of the WHA Houston Aeros from 1974-75, and of course Mike Ruzioni, the captain of the 1980 gold medal Olympic team. Well, it was 16 years ago. Are the memories still as vivid?
Well, I think they are to a degree. I think it's a lot of fun anytime we get together. It's kind of funny when we get together, we don't talk that much about Lake Placid. We talk more about the 6 months that led up to the Olympic Games, and we have a lot of fun. They're a great bunch of guys, and this is fun for us.
Thanks. All right, and Terry, what does it feel like being in that uniform for the first time in 20 years?
It feels great. It brings back great memories. The old guys bring back great memories, and I'm sure glad they had this put together for us.
All right, guys, shake hands. Good luck. See you later.
Right.
Back to you, John.
Thank you, Amy. We'll take a short time out and be back with the IHL's Heritage Game between the WHA Houston Aeros Reunion Club and the 1980 U.S. gold medal winning Olympic Club after we take this time out from the Summit in Houston, Texas.
The 1996 International Hockey League All-Star Weekend is brought to you by Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beers of the IHL. Continental Airlines, Houston's hometown airline and the official airline of the IHL All-Star Weekend. Bauer, the name of the game. Discover Card, the card that pays you back. Neutralite Vitamins from Amway, the official vitamins of the IHL. And by Starter, look for the star.
At the Summit in Houston, Texas, where tonight it's the IHL Heritage Game between the 1980 U.S. Olympic gold medal winning team and the alumni team, if you will, from the WHA's Houston Aeros. The introductions of both teams complete, and starting in goal, who else for the U.S. Olympic Club but Jim Craig. Now doing a little bit of coaching at the collegiate level, but back between the pipes.
An assistant at Northeastern University. And Ronnie Graham at the other end.
Oh, and you know it's throwback time
when you see one of those
masks.
Oh, I looked at that thing when I was down in the hallway, and I don't know if I would, or anybody would step into that crease in the National Hockey League or the IHL or anywhere right now with one of those things.
It just goes to show you old habits die hard, because he hasn't played in a long time, and he probably puts on the headgear that the goaltenders wear today and says there's no way he'd step in with that. So a few helmetless players, to say the least, and we're underway with Houston controlling and a bit of a less than graceful dump into the U.S. zone. We may see a little bit more of that. Terry Ruskowski behind the net moves it in front, and Craig forced to make a save on the backhand right away as Don Larway was alone in front. And we may not see a whole lot of big-time checks, and that's why Larway was allowed to be alone in front.
One of the former Aeros who stayed in the area, lives here in Houston. You're going to see a lot of stand-up goaltending tonight, I have a feeling. Not a lot of diving around from either guy.
Long shot wide of the mark from the right point, and stepping up to keep it in is Popeil. That's Paul Popeil. Brother Jan out there with him as well. And now Mike Ruzioni, the U.S. captain, comes up with the puck and got it as far as the blue line, no further. And bumping into one another, Ruskowski and Larway that time. That may be as big a check as we see all night.
Yeah, they got a piece of one another there. Not the fleetest of feet on a lot of guys out here.
Well, as we mentioned in the open, we didn't expect to see fantastic hockey, but the fans love this, and this is great. So many people who follow hockey in the United States, of course, harken themselves back in February of 1980 when the U.S. team stunned the world by beating the Soviets at the Olympics and then going on to the gold medal. And, of course, that really harvested a great number of hockey fans around the United States.
Quite a video presentation they had before the game. For both clubs, really, for the U.S. Olympic team and then for the Arrows.
Doyle takes a swipe at it, goes down, and a penalty going to be called here. And Houston will go shorthanded. Doyle pretty much took himself down on the play with a swing and a miss at the side of the net, but as he tried to reach back and get it, the referee makes a call, tripping, if you will. And we'll get a look at that highly regarded U.S. power play here.
Here's another look at the penalty. I guess so. Pulled the legs out from underneath of him.
It'll be the goaltender, Graham, who picks up the penalty. Twice the WHA goaltender of the year, but he'll have to have a teammate sit for him, although I don't think they're going to be real sticklers about making sure somebody goes to the box.
Yeah, nobody's even gone over there. They don't have enough players on either bench to send someone to the other side.
So the U.S. Olympic team on the power play, and Ken Morrow, who knows Houston and the IHL oh so well. He still lives in Kansas City, where he does a great deal of his scouting for the New York Islanders from there. He's out there to work one point. I think we could probably count the helmeted players tonight and have more of those, or I should say less of those, than the non-helmeted players.
And some of them, I think it's out of necessity, too, to cover up that little solar panel out back.
Well, the U.S. on the power play as they bring it back into the Houston zone. Baker moves up top of the left wing circle and threw it down low. It went right through McClanahan, but he got it back and sent it behind the net. They didn't even put the penalty time up on the board here in Houston either. I mean, this is definitely a leisure hockey game. And since nobody's in the box, probably nobody will come out, and that person won't know when to come out either. So it should be interesting to see when this power play ends.
I think you're just on your own merit out here tonight. When you feel you've served enough time and you've felt shame,
it's the honor system. As the puck is frozen in the Houston zone. And a couple of changes, very leisurely changes as well. Dave Silk comes on for the U.S.
Terry Ruskowski comes out. What an ovation he had before this game started. And yes, he's here.
Oh, yes. The Pied Piper of the IHL, Claude, the happy trumpeter, Scott, in attendance. And Houston shorthanded, trying to clear. Although, you know what? They got 5 guys out there. I guess the 2 minutes is up. Silk trying to move it out of the zone. O'Callahan fed it in front, and that was knocked away and cleared to the neutral zone. Larway tried to bring it back in, and now O'Callahan back at his own line. One would suspect that if either team would look a little sharper, perhaps it would be the Olympians. Or
they played last night, though. They're battling fatigue.
Yeah,
they took on the New York Rangers alumni squad last night.
Here's Larway getting behind the defense, and his backhander kicked away by Jim Craig. And O'Callahan, who looks pretty fleet still afoot, moves it back to center. Ruzioni gets it down low, tried to get it back as that's Kristoff. Steve Kristoff trying to get it to him in front, and now out high in the zone. Silk just keeps it in. Paul Popeil didn't get it out. O'Callahan feeds it across, and Graham forced to make another save, and he kind of covered it. He did it long enough to get a whistle, and we'll go downstairs where Amy Stone is standing by with Bill Denis.
Well, thanks, guys. Coach, I know you're busy with line changes in the game and everything, but how do you think the chemistry is? I mean, these guys haven't played together for 20 years.
Chemistry has been there 20 years ago, and it was there for 6 years, and I don't think they'll ever lose it, these guys.
1 minute to play in the first period.
Less than a minute now to go in the period, and look out, McClanahan with a bomb that went over top of the net, and Graham was ducking.
So was Buzz Schneider, who come whipping in behind. They don't wear the helmets anymore in games like this. You better be looking out. The boys are starting to heat it up a little bit. No wrist shots.
Well, of course, there's still a couple guys from this U.S. team playing professional hockey. Dave Christian, one of them, with the Minnesota Moose of the IHL. And, you know, there's some guys that still have the skills, definitely, as the puck comes out to center. And Suter has it for the U.S. Ahead for Ruzioni, who looks around and dumps it as Larway comes up on it. Final 20 seconds now of the opening period of the Heritage game. No score as yet, but there have been chances. Oh, real good grade A opportunities. And the Arrows able to clear to center, and there lurking again is Murray Hall. He's got Larway with him as they come across the line, but O'Callahan able to pitch it away the final 10 seconds as Kristoff brings it in. Wanted to drop it for O'Callahan, not the sweetest of drop passes, and Ruskowski clears it away. And that's the end of the first period of the Heritage game at the IHL All-Star Weekend from the Summit in Houston. No score between the alumni Houston Arrows and the 1980 U.S. gold medal Olympic squad.
Determination, desire, the quest for excellence. Some have it every time they hit the ice. They score! Bud Ice proudly salutes the IHL All-Stars. Great talent and great taste go hand in hand, especially when you put them on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the IHL.
When the presence is felt, check out what he's wearing. Get robbed by a masked man. Remember what he's wearing. The names wear.
A dream for every junior hockey player alive has come true for 19 youngsters representing each International Hockey League city as they partake in their own All-Star game here at the Summit in Houston. One from every IHL city representing their own International Hockey League team. We peek in on their own All-Star game.
Hold it here now. Oh, my.
Well, speaking of reunions and alumni.
How did they get out of the Federal League? That's what I want to know. Here come the new boys. There he is. There's his brother.
Well, we said there was old-time hockey out on the ice tonight, and who better to represent it?
Hey, Buzzy Snyder and Ken Morrow. Chief. Whoa. We're not worthy. Not worthy. Not worthy.
They've been known to disrupt hockey games without even touching the ice.
They like the anthem, though.
They do enjoy listening to the song. Here's Kristoff into the Houston zone. High in the slot, it rolled off his stick, and now he'll take it back to center. As the gauntlet of Houston defense is all over him, and Larway knocked it away. Ruskowski, who has a goal, just couldn't quite get to it. O'Callahan brought it back in, but Kristoff lost the handle. Doyle trailing the play. Tried to send it low. That's broken up by Rutledge, who clears it ahead. And at center ice, Frank Hughes for Houston gives it back to Larway, only to lose it at the line. And again, it's Doyle into the Houston end. Trying to go wide on Rutledge, takes it in behind, fired it in front, and Kristoff just couldn't set it off his skate. And here's Ruskowski again the other way. The fans react just when he touches the puck. To Larway, whose shot is blocked. And Suter behind the net for the U.S. ahead for Kristoff.
Be no surprise, I don't think that Larway is a pretty good player out here this evening. He is an assistant coach with the current Houston Arrows of the IHL.
I've seen a lot of ice time out there. 6.5 to go in the Heritage game in Houston. 2-0. The WHA Alumni Aero Club leads the 1980 gold medal U.S. Olympic team as McClanahan cuts in, and another poke check by Graham, and then he makes the save on a Ruzioni on the rebound. And Amy Stone is standing by with 3 stalwarts of the game of hockey.
That's right. I'm here with Jeff Hansen.
Jack Hansen.
Jack, whatever.
Yeah. You want a date tonight, don't you?
No, definitely not with one of the
Because I'm the good-looking one.
Actually, I prefer. Who are you? Which one are you? Steve?
Yeah.
Steve?
You want to talk to me, right?
I don't know. I kind of like the length of his hair better.
Yeah, see that? Okay.
I want to know what I think all Hansen brother fans want to know is, how do you see through those glasses?
Well, we'd wear contacts, but then we can't blink. So we got to wear the contacts. Something wrong with the glasses?
You guys are always up to your old tricks.
What's wrong with the glasses?
I don't know. I can't really see your eyes. They're too thick. You guys are up to your same old tricks again. What do you got planned for the rest of the game?
Well, we're winning the game. Hockey.
Fair? Are you going to win it fair, you guys?
Win it fair.
You don't always win it fair. No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
What? Drop something. Next interview. Next.
Back to you guys.
Suter covers for the U.S. as they're inside the final minute, and in a desperate move, the Olympians will pull goaltender Jim Craig.
So who goes on for Craig?
Well, everybody, it looks like. McClanahan and Verkota both came over the boards.
It looks like it's going to be big.
The infamous seventh man.
There's people creeping on the ice from everywhere right now.
Here is Verkota feeding it in front. It bounces away from Bill Baker, and now I think we get 7-on-7 out there. Here comes McClanahan. Silks over the boards.
They're going to empty the benches.
The benches have emptied, and there are a lot of hockey players out there right now as Morrow's shot kicked away by Graham through a screen.
He had a face full of Buzz Schneider on that one and somehow got his pad on it.
Everybody's just covering up in front. Nobody, I think, knows where this puck is, and the final seconds tick away.
The Hansons are cherry picking.
And the Heritage game comes to a close under a cloud of controversy with every player and official and Hansen brother on the ice, and apparently the Houston Aeros have prevailed in the Heritage game at the Summit tonight over the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. The final score, the Houston Aeros WHA Alumni Club 3 and the U.S. Olympians 1, and I know who you like for the 1 star.
Number 29, the guy in the Jason mask. Mr. Graham will be the MVP, I would think. Ronnie Graham out of Victoria, British Columbia. The Aeros' all-time leading goaltender. Won 102 games, only lost 37, finished with a career average of under 3 when he played here. And he played like that again tonight.
And now at the University of Denver as an assistant athletic director. They have an outstanding hockey program this year as well, in their own right, ranked in the top 5. And Terry Ruskowski's 2 goals lead the Houston Aero Alumni Club from 74-75 to a 3-1 victory over the U.S. Olympic team at the IHL All-Star Weekend Heritage Game. For the IHL All-Stars to show off in the skills competition, and our first competition will be the puck control relay. You can see the pylons on the ice here at the Summit in Houston, and here's exactly how the game is played. Players will skate to the circle, carry the puck through the course. As I pointed out, the pylons strategically placed throughout the Summit here. And when the player passes the blue line, the next player on the member of that team will begin doing the exact same thing. Now, there's a couple stipulations. You have to start from behind the blue line, and you have to make sure you do not begin until the previous player on your team comes back across the blue line. Otherwise, your team can be disqualified. And the referees will begin the puck control relay with a blow of the whistle, and Konstantin Shafronov will begin things against Alexei Yegorov. And it's underway. Shafronov and Yegorov. Oh, Yegorov knocked down a pylon, but they're pretty much side by side as they bring it through center ice. Losing the handle, though, is Shafronov, and that gives the Western Conference an early lead in this drill. Tomlinson and Edgerton. Dave Tomlinson of the Cincinnati Cyclones has to catch Devin Edgerton. He's a little bit behind. And right now, if you're the Western Conference and if you're Devin Edgerton, you just want to keep control of the puck and keep your club in front, because the Western Conference has a sizable lead. It's up to John Purvis now, and Stan Drulli has got a lot of work in front of him as the Atlanta Knights captain will try to catch Purvis of the San Francisco Spiders. And the Western Conference clearly winning, and the entire victory based on the loss of the puck by Konstantin Shafronov, and John Purvis finishes things off. And the Western Conference has won the first activity, and Darrell Reyes with the man who finished things off, John Purvis.
I got Johnny Purvis here. Johnny, nice big lead for you before you got into that last leg of it.
That's always nice to get that lead. It's a tough race, coming out here starting from no warm-up or nothing. That's a tough grind.
What's the toughest part about it?
Well, handling the puck, getting around those tight turns. They got a pretty tight course set up in there.
Johnny Purvis, his club wins it. Back up to you, Johnny.
Thanks, Darrell. And sometimes that lead, while it's comfortable, can oftentimes be a bit of a burden. Now it'll be a little bit of a one-on-one puck control. And Lonnie Loach of the Detroit Vipers is set to go up against Sylvain Couturier of the Milwaukee Admirals. Loach, the leading scorer from Detroit through the first half of the season. Couturier is the number 2 scorer for the Milwaukee Admirals, and the whistle blown after Loach was kept onside, and here they go. Couturier loses a hand a little bit at the beginning, and now can Loach take advantage of the opportunity? Couturier seems to have made up some good ground and now has the lead, and Loach lost the handle. He went around a pylon the wrong way, and he did get across the blue line first, but I don't know if he kept the puck on the right side of that pylon. And they're letting the crowd, I think, determine. As the Western Conference All-Stars look on. I don't know if it's fair to let the crowd determine this, because obviously the home club is the Eastern Conference, and
it'll be the bachelor skater in the Texaco IHL.
Come here, can you talk yet?
Lonnie Loach has enough air back in his lungs, Darrell, to chat with you?
Just barely. I got Lonnie here with me right now. A pretty tight race.
Yeah, Sly's known for his skating and puck handling, so it was nice to get a win.
You think you got a little help from the crowd here?
Oh, I know I got help from the crowd.
Thanks a lot, Lonnie.
Thanks. Always honest Lonnie Loach may realize that being the home team, definitely an advantage tonight here in the IHL skills competition. Each team credited with a point. The team victory for the West, good for 1 point, and Loach's individual victory over Couturier, good for a point. So through the puck control relay, East and West knotted at 1 each.
Get to Montgomery Ward, your price cut headquarters. In rooms and more, all furniture is on sale. You'll save 20 to 50%. Plus, take an extra 10% off furniture, even on sale prices. You'll also get free delivery on premium mattress sets, like this Serta Perfect Sleeper Queen set for just $4.99. Then ask for 0 interest on big screen TVs, on select electronics, on appliances from Amana, GE, Maytag, and Whirlpool, and on premium mattress sets. Through Monday only at Montgomery Ward, your price cut headquarters.
How can this be Car of the Year? You can't get up and walk around in a car. Cars don't have seats on rollers. Or so many seats, period. Or so much space for so many things. And they certainly don't offer sliding doors on both sides. Well then, it would appear that for the first time ever, the Motor Trend Car of the Year is more than a car. It's a caravan from the new Dodge.
Some of the best memories I have of spending time with my father revolve around Blackhawks hockey. We would watch the games on TV, but what was really special were the games that began at 10 o'clock on the West Coast. Dad would send me to bed about 8 o'clock so I could get a couple hours of sleep, although I usually didn't sleep too much. Dad would wake me up at 10 o'clock. We'd go downstairs, just the two of us, while everybody else was sleeping. We'd watch the Blackhawks. He'd usually make hot chocolate, and he'd bust out the cookies, too. It's some of the best memories I have.
With 200 games, Sports Channel is your home for NCAA basketball.
Watch this.
200 college basketball games on Sports Channel. What college hoops fans want.
Competition, the speed skating event in the IHL's skills competition, and basically this one's simple. You make one revolution around the ice, and the player with the fastest time wins. Sylvain Turgeon, the hometown guy from the Houston Aeros, against Greg Hoggood. Who do you like, Darrell? Well, apparently Darrell can't hear us. And the officials will blow the whistle to begin this event. Hawgood, the leading scoring defenseman in all of the IHL, and Turgeon, the leading scorer on the Houston Aeros. And a false start as Turgeon.
We got a false start down here.
Turgeon offside on the play, or so they say. What do you like, Daryl?
I'm going to take Hawgood. I'll take the West. It might be an unpopular decision, but I got Hawgood.
Well, this is to break the early tie here in the skills competition as the East and West split the puck control portion. There will be 3 skaters from each team that will go, and they're off. The pylons and the goal are positioned at the ends of the ice. Oh, and Turgeon appears to have the early lead. Oh, that was close. But Daryl, I think your guy goes down to defeat.
He had the gloves going pretty good, but not quick enough.
Well,
I got Sly Turgeon right here.
If he can breathe.
The winner is from the Houston Aeros,
It's pretty popular here. How do you like playing here?
Fun. It's your town. So it's the key thing to this, as you know, is crossover. You know, if you got strong legs, cross over in those corners, you push hard. You know, just like our fans.
I hear you. I'll give you a break. Let's go over to Amy Stone, who has Greg Hawgood.
All right, thanks, Daryl. You're out of breath. Who do you think won that event?
Well, I think Sylvain's pretty fast, and it's pretty tough when you've been standing around and try and get your legs going. But it's a lot of fun, and hopefully my teammates can get going so we have the best team average.
Yeah, you got to please the crowd. Back to you, John.
You guys are popular down there grabbing these guys for interviews as they're trying to get some air. Now it's Dave McElwain and Patrick Augusta. Augusta of the Los Angeles Ice Dogs from the Western Conference and the Cleveland Lumberjacks McElwain. They go head-to-head, and McElwain a bit of an early lead, it would appear.
Augusta has the aerodynamics for this, though.
But it's going to be McElwain, as Augusta was unable to make up the little bit of a deficit that he had. And the Eastern Conference claims the first 2 rounds of the speed skating competition. And that makes McElwain popular. Excuse me,
I'll give you a breather. Can you answer a question yet?
Catch my breath here.
This is tough. I mean, it's a full burst for a few seconds. It takes a lot out of you.
Well, it does, especially when you're not warmed up at all. Kind of getting right out of the cold. But yeah, I still haven't caught my breath. Yeah.
Well, we'll throw it back upstairs and let you catch your breath, okay? Go back upstairs.
Well, Daryl, I hope Lonnie Loach caught his breath from the puck control relay. He gets to jump right back. The Detroit Vipers captain will be the Eastern Conference representative against Dave McIntyre of the Peoria Rivermen from the Western Conference. And Loach at least had a couple of seconds after doing the puck control relay, but if he can be victorious, a clean sweep in the fastest skater event for the Eastern Conference. And the whistle goes, and McIntyre, a defenseman, against the left winger Lonnie Loach, and it's pretty tight. Daryl, from up top, we can tell it's got to look close from down there. I think from our vantage point up top, it appeared that McIntyre may have snuck across the line ahead of Loach, but again, if they let this crowd decide, Daryl, I think the Eastern Conference is going to claim them all.
I don't know whether they're ever going to let the Western Conference into this thing tonight. Right now, it's been all Eastern Conference. We'll see if Loach has the stamina to talk to us after that one. What's the deal? You going to do all the skating races tonight or what?
I'm done now. I can go shower.
That's it for the night. No shooting for you tonight?
No, I can't shoot. You know that.
Lonnie, congratulations. You were flying around. You didn't beat him by much, but you beat him.
Just enough. I think I got a longer stick through the radar.
Tips. Pro tip from Lonnie Loach. Back up to you, Johnny.
He's beating the technology down there. The Eastern Conference wins the speed skating portion of the IHL skills competition from the Summit in Houston.
At Continental, we've been listening to you. And you can see the changes. Something new here. A renewed sense of pride there. And lately, we've become among the best in the business at handling your baggage and getting you to your destination on time. So fly us again and see the changes for yourself.
the people who benefit most from the Discover card don't even have one. Hi, I'm Scott Hamilton. Each year, the Discover Card youth programs recognize thousands of kids who are making a difference. In fact, Discover Card has already contributed over $16 million in support of this unique collection of programs. So as long as there are kids with dreams, we'll be here, helping them reach those dreams.
A pretty simple one next, the hardest shot competition. You take a slap shot from the slot, past a radar gun. It must be on net. The first participants of this competition all right around 90 miles an hour until Cincinnati defenseman Len Esau stepped to the plate, and his first shot in excess of 95 miles an hour would be the hardest shot of the competition. His second, just a hair behind that at over 94 miles an hour. The two hardest shots of the competition, and congratulations to Len Esau, the winner of the hardest shot in the International Hockey League Skills Competition. And we now move forward to the rapid fire competition. A competition in which two players will take 10 shots, alternating 5 each. Only wrist shots and snapshots here, and that's important because the goaltenders are a little bit at bay here. You will shoot on the referee's command. He'll blow the whistle and get things started. The goaltender may not come out of the crease at all during this competition as well. And this is a goaltender's game. The fewest goals allowed will win. And the whistle from the referee will signal the start of the event. Schenk and Couturier alternating on Shabbat. The number 4 netminder in the IHL at All-Star break. And Couturier roofed one right after Schenk finished beating Shabbat the second time. So Stefan Beauregard of the San Francisco Spiders will now look down the barrel of the gun at Todd Richards of Orlando and Daniel Gauthier of Indianapolis. Gauthier starts it off. Goaltender's best friend in there as well, the old pipe, and Beauregard started fine, but it got away from him a little bit at the end. Darryl, you goaltenders just love something like this, don't you?
Oh, it's our favorite event. Most of the teams I played on, this was game action, though, for me. We'll grab the best goaltending tandem in the league, is Shabbat and Lorenz, after this event is over with, and see what their thoughts at looking down the barrel of a couple guns.
See two Cincinnati Cyclone netminders both here, and now it's Danny Lorenz of the Clones, who will look at John Purvis and Danny Lambert. Lambert of the Los Angeles Ice Dogs will start, and Purvis of the San Francisco Spiders as the West Coast Connection team up on Lorenz, the number 2 netminder in the eye. Boy, and it appears, Darryl, that the goaltenders seem to start out okay, but a little bit of attrition sets in.
Well, you got a little bit of momentum working against you going both ways. And you notice after every shot, the players are always smiling, and the goalies come out with that sour look on their face and let it go the other way.
Well, Danny Lorenz had his hands full, of course, in any skills competition. You're not just looking at less-than-game circumstances, but you're looking at the best in the league doing it on you. And as Darryl mentioned, you just got to get up and keep going back. And Lorenz beaten a few times at the end, and I believe the Western Conference will be tabbed with this one and the tandem from Cincinnati with Darryl Ray right now.
Yeah, I've got the 2 top targets in the IHL right now, Danny Lorenz, Freddie Shabbat. That, I'll start with you, Danny, is a tough drill for a goaltender.
Yeah, it is. You know, especially with the whistle, you don't have much time to get over, so you're relying on a lot of reflexes.
I would think a butterfly style like you play would come into hand in a drill like this, because you really don't have time to react. You just sort of have to be there, and I don't want to say guess, but sometimes you must be.
Yeah, butterfly can help, but if you go down, sometimes you don't have time to get over, so you don't want to go down too much.
The best thing about this last competition, the thing that it's over?
That's a lot.
Take care. Good luck the rest of the way, guys. Back up to you, Johnny.
Bad for the West right now. They're down 6-1 in the skills competition from the Summit in Houston at the IHL All-Star Weekend.
How many saves can a Blackhawk goalie make in a game? You make the call by playing Southwest Airlines Great Savers Travel Contest. You can win tickets to see the Hawks take on the Blues in St. Louis. Watch the Hawks on Sports Channel to see if your entry is randomly chosen and your guess is closest to the number of Hawk saves that night. If your entry is chosen, you could qualify for a grand prize of round-trip airfare for 2 to St. Louis on Southwest, the low-fare airline from convenient Midway Airport.
Get ready for exciting Super Bowl action and fun at the world's largest Bud Bowl at the Hyatt Regency Chicago Super Bowl Sunday. Join WMVP Steve Dahl and Bruce Wolf for a live broadcast and great Super Bowl action on 2 giant wall screen TVs. Plus, fun activities at over 40 booths with benefits going to local charities. Watch the Super Bowl and get your photo taken with Chicago sports celebrities. Only at the world's largest Bud Bowl at the Hyatt Regency Super Bowl Sunday.
Email your favorite Blackhawk announcers at sportsch@aol.com. Talk to Pat, Dale, Bill, and Jeff. Get Q&A with your Bulls broadcast team. And email John, Tom, Norm, and Steve at scbulls@aol.com. Any questions for our Sports Channel Report anchors? Send email to the Sports Channel Report at screport@aol.com. Surf the Sports Channel Internet. Go online with AOL and Sports Channel. What Cyber fans want.
And it's time now for the starter shooting accuracy drill in the IHL skills competition. A teammate will feed you in the slot, and you get to shoot at the targets. And as Darryl mentioned earlier, this is what they love because they get to break things. Teammates will pass from behind the goal line to the shooter in the slot. You'll have 18 seconds to get off 8 shots. If you touch the target at all, it's good. And the most targets hit will be the winner. And the first shooter, Craig Fisher of the Orlando Solar Bears from the Eastern Conference. His third shot, they credit. Apparently, he got a piece of that target, and he's now winding down. I think he just hit a target and it bounced straight back at him. Officially 2 of 8 for Craig Fisher, and perhaps opening a door for the Western Conference a bit here. 3 shooters from each team in the team event. Chris Snell of Phoenix and Todd Simon, the leading scorer in the IHL of the Las Vegas Thunder, will be the passers from behind the goal line. And Tom Tilley of the Milwaukee Admirals will be the shooter for the Western Conference.
Can I grab one of those? You want a good one? Yeah.
8 shots, they get 18 seconds. And Tilley practicing handling a pass or 2. Getting comfortable.
Here we go. Upper bowl, let's cheer him on.
And now it counts as Simon feeds Tilley. And got to break that target apparently because he got a piece of it and they didn't credit it, I don't believe. Final shot for Tom Tilley will not count as he didn't get it off in time. And they will credit him with 1. He did hit a target, it just didn't break. So Fisher, despite getting only 2, has given the Eastern Conference an early lead. And now Brad Shaw and Mark Laniel will do the passing. Shaw of the Detroit Vipers in the Eastern Conference and Laniel of the hometown Houston Aeros. And they'll feed Dave Barr, the Orlando Solar Bears. And Darryl, you goaltenders got to think this one's a little more fair.
Some people would say there's 4 goaltenders in that net right now as it is.
Covering the parts that are hardest to cover.
Here we go.
And Barr's first shot misses the mark. Bet the goalies wish the guys would have shot like this in the previous drill. Barr got the target with that one. Again, he didn't break it, but time runs out as his final shot misses the mark. And surprised, Darryl, that these guys aren't pegging a few more targets?
Well, these targets are made of galvanized steel, as you can see here, and you have to be awfully strong to break one of these because they really are made of some tough stuff.
Well, we've seen shots in excess of 95 miles an hour in the skills competition here. Apparently, you got to be a little tougher than the target. Brett Levers, excuse me, of the Utah Grizzlies will be the shooter for the Western Conference. And the East, I think, has been credited with just 3 thus far through the first 2 shooters. The West has 1, and Levers rips the target apart with his first one, and he's rather accurate. His next 2, not quite so fortunate. He's got 3. And Levers already with the most targets hit in this competition. A chance to clean the plate, but he can't do it. But the rookie has given the West the lead in this competition, and now just 1 shooter remains for each team. What's the feeling, Daryl, down there? You get the feeling these guys, I mean, seriously want to win this competition as a team?
You could cut the electricity with a knife down here right now.
You're not supposed to mess with electricity with knives, Daryl.
That's what I mean.
Well, it's certainly a lighter atmosphere than perhaps tomorrow when the IHL All-Star Game will take place here at the Summit in Houston. Daniel Marois, the Michigan K-Wings, the next shooter for the Eastern Conference, pegs the target with his first shot. Credited with the second one, although again those rather resilient targets continue to stay there. And now Marois becomes the first shooter to peg all 4 targets. And the East again back in the driver's seat.
We'll see if we can grab the shooter and grab the passer here. Let's see if we can grab the shooter and the passer. Daniel.
Boy, Daryl, you'd think they just won the cup.
I know. There's some celebration going on down here. I've got the shooter and the passer here right now. Some fine shooting, but come on, let's talk a little bit about the passes that were served up.
That was the key.
Jazzy, you want to add anything to this, or you want to just leave it at that?
Yeah, it's my bread and butter, yeah. I'm not shooting for a reason. I'm passing because of my lack of shooting, I think, so.
But some nice saucers, nevertheless. You have to be happy with the passes you got, and you put a couple right through the heart.
Oh, yeah, well, I was pretty nervous in the beginning, but I felt pretty good when you give me the pass, especially a nice pass like that, you know.
Pretty easy with a goalie not in there, though, eh?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Always sticking up for the Union, aren't you, Daryl? It's those tissue-soft hands of Brad Shaw that fed Marois, and he got all 4. Now a little bit of pressure on Chris Jensen of the Minnesota Moose. He needs to get all 4 for the West to pull one out in this competition. And he gets 3. And I believe that will leave us at a draw after 3 shooters. Daniel Marois will be the individual winner, giving the East a point there.
In his attempt, so that's another goal for the East.
And Darrell Ray standing by with Chris Jensen.
I have to think when you were growing up in Fort St. John that you had one of these things in your basement that you fired pucks at when you were growing up. Am I right?
Yeah, it's just tennis ball. You put the puck through the window. The old man didn't like it too much.
Well, you look pretty good there, and it sounds like you guys got it going on. We're going to throw it over to Amy Stone right now. Nice job, Jen.
All right, thanks a lot, Razor.
All right, thanks, Daryl. I'm here with members of the Las Vegas Thunder. We have Patrice Lefebvre and Greg Hoggett, and the newest member, Logan. Hey, Logan, how do you like the skills competition?
The overall scoring.
He likes it a lot. Well, you guys are down 7-1. Uh-oh.
Well, we're just here to have a good time, and we're going to give them a little false sense of security tonight so that we can give it to them tomorrow.
Maybe Logan needs to suit up and do something.
Well, with all the stuff we had to bring, I didn't have a chance to bring his skates, but he's trying to learn as fast as he can.
All right, thanks. Back to you, John.
Plenty of juniors tonight. There was an IHL junior game during the intermission of the Heritage game earlier as well. The skills competition so far all East, 8-1 from the Summit in Houston on the IHL All-Star Weekend.
Hey, guys. What do they call this? Bud ice? Ice brewed. No, the bottle looks like ice. The bottle does look like ice. It's ice brewed, just the bad head. The bottle is jagged and it looks like ice. Ice brewed. Jagged. Hey, you guys. Take it outside. Okay, Coach.
Bud Ice, the official beer of the Hanson brothers.
Stupid machine took my quarter.
Just coffee again?
We missed the bus.
Your daily game plan isn't always what you expect.
Donut?
My office, 5 minutes. I'm not a special.
Hey, nice report. Got another one for you.
So sharpen your nutritional edge.
Be another week.
With Neutralite Vitamin.
Honey, not here.
Neutralite from Amway for your day on the ice.
the breakaway relay at the IHL skills competition. Pokey Reddick right now getting peppered by the Eastern Conference. Mark Laniel of the Houston Aeros, the third shooter, comes in, and on the backhand he goes over a sprawling Reddick. The next shooter, Dave Barr of the Orlando Solar Bears, and Reddick went down and got the left pad on that one. You have to wait till your teammate comes back across the blue line. Now Turgeon of Houston, and he scores! That's a popular one. The final shooter, Dave Tomlinson from Cincinnati. Whoa, one more dipsy than Pokey had to do. And the Eastern Conference off to a good start. 4 of the 6 shooters able to score. And now Freddie Shabbat of Cincinnati will face the wrath of the Western Conference. Daryl, how about it? You goalies are always talking about how you don't like these. Is this one any better?
No, not at all.
Okay.
These are not fun.
So Shabbat stares down the gun, and the 6-man team of the Western Conference has a powwow at center ice as they talk strategy, perhaps. Todd Simon, the leading scorer in the International Hockey League from the Las Vegas Thunder, will come on, and he beats Shabbat to the glove side. Jean-Marc Richard, his teammate from Vegas, is turned away this time. Devin Edgerton of Phoenix will be the third shooter. The East got 4, and Edgerton tried to dipsy-do, but it was kicked away by Shabbat as he tried to draw it to the backhand. Steve Malte, he can score goals, and he scores one there. 2 for the Western Conference, and here's little Patrice Lefebvre. He can score as well. I think it hit the post, and it did not go in. Oh, Shabbat had plenty of time to sweep that one away. And Lambert just tried to load it up, but Shabbat turns it away. And it's all East down there. Daryl, what's going on?
Good goaltending. You didn't want to hear that, did you? I'm going to grab the guy who scored the prettiest goal here, Mark Laniel. Here's the guy that scored that Gordie Howe. Guys were saying Gordie Howe backhand on the bench when you went with that. It was a pretty goal.
That's the most underrated shot. Goalies don't know where it's going, so I took it to the backhand and put a top shelf.
Well, goalies don't know where it's going, but did you know where it was going?
No.
Back up to you, Johnny. Congratulations.
Thanks, Daryl. Well, that was round 1, and now Stefan Beauregard steps between the pipes for the Western Conference. And a new 6-some will take him on from the Eastern Conference. Todd Richards is first, and Beauregard stays on his feet and makes the initial save. Craig Fisher from Orlando is next. He goes to the backhand, and he got it behind Beauregard before he kicked the net off. Brad Shaw from Detroit shows us his shot. The last drill he said he should pass and not shoot, and maybe not so bad with the shot. Jock Callender, a 12-year veteran of the IHL, turned away this time by Beauregard, who keeps knocking that net off. McElwain from Cleveland, and he scores as well. Beauregard has been beaten 3 out of 5, and now Daniel Marois, the most accurate shooter earlier tonight, and this one is not quite so accurate. So 3 for the Eastern Conference, and 7 in their 2 rounds, and now Danny Lorenz with a chance to give the East yet another win in the skills competition. It's been a long night for the West. Gino Cavallini will be one of the shooters that Lorenz will face. He's had an outstanding season as Danny Lorenz. He'll also see John Purvis from San Francisco, Tom Tilley of Milwaukee, Daniel Shank of Vegas, and here's Cavallini to go first, and Lorenz stays with him and got the right pad on that one. Here's Purvis from San Francisco, and staying with him is Lorenz, who reaches back and fixes the net himself. Here's Daniel Shank, leading goal scorer in the league. And turned away by Lorenz that time. Yegorov comes out, and Lorenz, 40 feet out of his net, took a chance, and it didn't work. Here comes Patrick Augusta. And, well, I'll tell you, when Danny stays in his net, Daryl, it seems to work just fine.
He's trying to mix it up right now.
2 scores as Tilley finishes it for the Western Conference, but I think Lorenz knew he'd already won the drill. And you got yourself another member of the union down there, don't you?
Well, it's not very often you see a forechecking goaltender like that guy. Right now, I got a guy who has to go up against this Eastern squad. That first save you made, right off the pumpkin.
Yeah, they seems to be a magnet on my mask today, attracting pucks. I got hit twice too in the quick shot drill there. I don't know what's going on.
But that's a save. No matter what, that's a save.
Hey, they don't ask how. They ask how many at the end of the season, right?
Thanks, Bo.
Hey, Daryl, it's just a skills competition. Get out of the way.
Sorry.
No, I mean Beauregard. Just tell him to get out of the way.
It's not for real.
Aren't there two rules in life? Never play leapfrog with a unicorn, and don't ever be a goaltender in a skills competition. The Eastern Conference will claim the victory rather easily, 15-6 in the skills competition at the IHL All-Star Weekend in Houston.
Desire, the quest for excellence. Some have it every time they hit the ice. They score! Baby! Bud Ice proudly salutes the IHL All-Stars. Great talent and great taste go hand in hand, especially when you put them on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the IHL.
The 1996 International Hockey League All-Star Weekend is brought to you by Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beers of the IHL. Continental Airlines, Houston's hometown airline and the official airline of the IHL All-Star Weekend. Bauer, the name of the game. Discover Card, the card that pays you back. Nutrilite Vitamins from Amway, the official vitamins of the IHL. And by Starter, look for the star.
It was all East in the IHL skills competition as they jumped out to a big lead early, scored often, and claimed a 15-6 victory over the Western Conference in the skills competition here at the Summit in Houston, Texas. A busy, busy night at the Summit. Much has gone on, and let's go down ice level one final time to Darrell Ray and Amy Stone.
Thanks, Johnny and Amy. I think we saw a pretty good night here. You survived the Hansons, which
I did,
was tough.
Barely, but I did, yes.
And it was all Eastern Conference as far as the skills competition.
Well, it was all East, but, you know, what's most important is that everybody left with smiles on their faces, whether the East won or the West won or got slaughtered or whatever. These players are here to have fun this weekend, and that showed tonight.
Yeah, everybody had a pretty good time, I think, down here at ice level. You got cold feet?
Yeah, but I'm glad to see we're seeing eye to eye on a lot of things. I grew a couple inches.
You, Johnny.
Yeah, Amy gave us a lift, so did Daryl. Nice job downstairs. Thanks for the help this evening, guys. Well, as we leave you from the Summit in Houston after what has been a very busy night, including an IHL Heritage game with the reunion club from the 1974-75 WHA Houston Aeros team and the 1980 U.S. Olympic team, some junior action, and, of course, the skills competition. We'll leave you with the strains of Bruce Hornsby and the Range in concert to wrap up our evening at the IHL skills competition from Houston and the Summit.
Remember when days were long, rolled me skies. Now the skies are threatening, beating plowshares into swords. For that tired old man is no longer king. Armchair warriors often fail. We've been poisoned by these fairy tales. Lawyers dwell on small details. Said Stan had to fight a war and die.
It's a college basketball junkie's dream. Highlights from games involving UIC, DePaul, Northwestern, and Illinois tonight on The Report at 10.
A new season has begun on Sports Channel.
In its first 50 years, the International Hockey League boomed to become a 19-team coast-to-coast outfit featuring one of the finest entertainment values in all of sports. Now, as the league moves into the second half of its first century, the spotlight shines on the best of the best at the IHL All-Star Game tonight from the Summit in Houston. As the sun sets on the Lone Star State, all the stars in the International Hockey League come out tonight in Houston as it's the premier mid-season classic of the league. The All-Star Game, the 22nd in the league's 51-year history tonight from the Summit. And a very good evening. John Allers with you tonight. Glad to have you along as we look forward to the mid-season classic that the IHL calls its All-Star Game. Throughout the evening, we're going to have an opportunity to take a closer look at the tension and electricity that surrounds this game from a player's standpoint. And let's go downstairs to the Western Conference locker room where right now our Amy Stone is standing by.
Thanks, John. Well, throughout the night, we're going to be in this locker room, and you guys are going to get a chance to see things you normally don't get to see during a game. And joining me right now is Stefan Beauregard. Are you excited about the game tonight?
Yeah, pretty excited. I'm really looking forward to a nice, quiet game tonight.
Yeah, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Have a great game. Yikes. Okay, Daniel Shank is over here. You're getting ready for the game. Now, normally you kiss your stick before, after a goal. Are you going to do that tonight, you think?
Oh, definitely. I say about 3 times tonight.
3 times. Okay, look for that, people. And everybody pretty much seems relaxed. We got a card game about to happen right now. And here we have, Steve Malte and John Purvis. Now, you guys were teammates in Baltimore. Now you get to be on the same team again. How's it feel?
No, it's a thrill to play with somebody of his caliber. He passes the puck.
$5. Yeah, actually, it's, like Johnny said, we're fortunate enough to play our first 2 years pro together, and it was a lot of fun. And I kind of miss it a bit, so it's nice to get back, and we're playing together tonight, so it should be fun.
Right.
Yeah, same with me. I miss it a lot, too. We had a lot of good times, a lot of good games together, and it's fun to be together again.
Now, they usually call you not nervous Purvis. You nervous tonight?
No, not at all.
Thanks, John. All right, let's throw it to Daryl in the East locker room.
Thanks, Amy. We are here in the Eastern Conference locker room. We'll see if there are any nervous Nellies over on this side. We'll check in on the goaltending tandem of Lorenz and Shabbat. They seem to be in kind of a zen mood. We'll keep it down a little bit here.
Be one with the puck tonight. Be one with the puck. I have won the puck all night.
They prepare a little bit differently in goal here. It's a tough job. Who else we have here? Konstantin Shafranov, right here, his first All-Star game. Anything you can tell us about what you expect out here tonight?
От сегодняшней игры я жду хорошего хоккея, красивого, много комбинаций, красивых голов. Ну, то, что болельщики будут рады нашей сегодняшней игре.
All right, there you go. Konstantin, I don't think anything came up about back-checking in that conversation right there. Who else do we have in here? 4-time All-Star, Stan Drulia down here. Stan, you're going for the all-time point record in All-Star games. You're tied right now with Mo Benoit, who Barzy broke in with, I think, years ago. Anything special you like to do for these All-Star games? I know sometimes the rules are a little lax in these things.
Yeah, things are pretty relaxed, so I take the time, put a little extra curve in the stick, and make the shot a little harder.
Now, do you go over this with the goaltenders beforehand, or is this strictly something you do?
Well, I'm just trying to keep it a secret right now, so we don't want to let them in on it.
All right, well, good luck tonight. Good luck to everyone here in the Eastern Conference locker room. They won the skills competition last night. We'll see what they do in the game. Let's go back upstairs to John Olives.
And thank you for that incredibly insightful look into the locker rooms. We're back to drop the puck on the 22nd IHL All-Star Game after we take this time out from the Summit in Houston, Texas.
You got the wrong guy. Come on, I just want to hear you say it one time. He shoots, he scores. It's not me, man. Please. Told you, you got the wrong guy. Come on, just one time. I just want to hear you say he shoots, he scores. It's not me. It's someone else. Come on, please. I'm always playing. I never get to hear it. All right. He shoots, he scores. Maybe you're not the guy.
Blackhawks Senators, Monday, 6 p.m. on Sports Channel.
The all-new Plymouth Voyager has easy-out roller seats that you can't get on any other minivan. And an exclusive driver's side sliding door. In fact, Voyager not only surpasses every other minivan on the road, but with a 3-liter, 150-horsepower V6 engine, it has 36 times the cargo space of a Porsche 911 for about a third of the price.
The 1996 International Hockey League All-Star Weekend is brought to you by Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beers of the IHL. Continental Airlines, Houston's hometown airline and the official airline of the IHL All-Star Weekend. Bauer, the name of the game. Discover Card, the card that pays you back. Neutralite Vitamins from Amway, the official vitamins of the IHL. And by Starter, look for the star.
Welcome back to the Summit in Houston, Texas. John Allers alongside Darryl Ray for the International Hockey League's All-Star Game as the lights are down in the barn and the introduction of the starting lineups. Pretty nice little greeting for a hometown boy in the starting lineup for the Eastern squad. Sylvain Turgeon will get the nod, and right now the faithful of a near-capacity crowd here at the Summit will come to their feet, and we will take a pause for the singing of tonight's national anthem. Both teams have been completely introduced, the starting lineups included, and the coaches have made their way out as well. Joked a little bit, Darryl, about the nerves out there, but everybody feels it a little bit. This is a chance to really let everybody see what you can do.
Yeah, well, you're up against some of the best talent in the league, so you don't want to embarrass yourself.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
we're going to go down to ice level,
national anthem, Vision,
where we will be joined by the music group Vision, who will give us this evening's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous light o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets ring clear, the balls bursting in the air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
There was an 8-year hiatus through the late 1980s and early 1990s in which the IHL did not conduct an All-Star game, but this is the 5th consecutive season in which the league has put their stars on ice, if you will, and in the last 4 games, we've seen an escalation, Daryl, in offense.
Wouldn't blame that on goaltending, would you? Yeah, the teams really went at it in 94 and 95, went to the shootout last year to settle that affair. A lot of talent, a lot of offense on the ice for both sides.
Yeah, the 25 goals in each of the last 2 classics, the most ever in IHL All-Star history. And as the teams skate around and get set for the start of this, the 22nd All-Star Game in the long and storied history of the International Hockey League. We take a look at the starting goaltender in the Western Conference from the San Francisco Spiders, Stéphane Beauregard.
It's going to be a battle of the French-Canadian netminders tonight. Stéphane Beauregard from Cowansville, Quebec. He is the last line of defense for the San Francisco Spiders, having a tremendous year in the pipes for them. Plays almost every night. And at the other end, it's going to be Frédéric Chabot from Herbertville, Quebec. So look at Freddie. I wonder if these guys ever played against one another back in their days in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. One half of a fine tandem, probably the best in the league right now for the Cincinnati Cyclones. We're going to see both of them tonight.
Rather fitting indeed. Chabot and Lorenz split time on a rotation basis every other night, every other game, the other guy goes. And rather fitting that they will split the time tonight at the IHL All-Star Game. I was told that it was up to them who would start. They flipped a coin. I wonder whether Chabot called heads or tails.
Whichever one he called, he was right.
Plenty of Houston Aeros faithful, obviously, in the crowd, but a potpourri, if you will, of all the teams in the IHL, as all 19 teams are represented with at least one member from each club here at the All-Star Game. Rob Martell is the referee. Dave Cassidy and Mark Wilkins are the linesmen, and we're underway. The Eastern Conference in the white, with the blue numerals, the West in the black with blue. Jock Callender at center ice for the East will dump it in, and Beauregard plays it side of the net. Leaves it there for his defense in the West, trying to turn it in transition. Just backhands it all the way into the the Eastern zone, and Laniel comes back to get it. Mark Laniel tried to move it to his teammate from Houston, Sylvain Turgeon, but that was broken up, and now the West control.
Stay here.
Kept in at the point. It came right between the circles, and Brad Shaw of the Detroit Vipers tried to clear and got some help from Laniel.
You're wondering what the extra voice in the background is. Both goaltenders and a couple of coaches are mic'd for the hockey game tonight. They're going to rotate those mics around so you can get a little listen in on what the goaltender goes through.
Gino Cavallini in on the forecheck for the Western Conference, along with Patrick Augusta from the Los Angeles Ice Dogs, giving the East some trouble right now. And Jock Callender, a 12-year veteran of the eye from the Cleveland Lumberjacks, finally able to get it out. It rolls back on net, and Beauregard leaves it for Danny Lambert, the leading scoring defenseman in the IHL from Los Angeles. Shovels it across and away at center. Knocked away by Peter Allen, who clears back to center, and here come Tomlinson in the Eastern Conference. Dave Tomlinson from Cincinnati trying to center, but it looked like something, but got broken up rather quickly. And cleared right back to center ice. John Purvis sent it behind the Eastern net. Coming to the rescue is Dave McElwain of Cleveland.
Go to him!
Didn't get it out. Chabot trying to direct traffic on his defense. Gets help from his Peter Allen, who digs it out from behind the net, and Allen will go up the near side for Tomlinson. Away to center the Eastern Conference on left wing. Tomlinson across the line. Pulls up, tried to feed it ahead. Was looking to get it into Todd Richards, but that was broken up, and back the other way again, the Western Conference. Drop pass in the slot, knocked away as trailing the play was Steve Malte from Chicago, and that taken away and cleared to center ice by Daniel Marois. Tomlinson moves it ahead on the right side, and a long shot by Lenny Esau off the right wing boards. Had plenty on it, but it missed the mark.
Didn't miss the mark by much, and I'm talking about Beauregard's head. He was hit 6 times last night right in the squash during the skills competition. So as long as it didn't go in, he didn't care.
Danielle Shank able to get it to Tom Tilley, and out of the Western zone comes the Milwaukee Admiral defenseman. Couldn't get it back to Shank, and Shafronov for the Eastern Conference out of Fort Wayne breaks up the pass. Tilley forced to play it back in his own zone. Got it out to center. Esau with it there, flipped it back in and spun around. Lonnie Loach from Detroit unable to come up with the puck. Back comes Shank into the Eastern zone, fed it across, and scoring is Todd Simon as a pair of Las Vegas Thunder team up for the first goal of the hockey game. Will come, no surprise, early at the 2:47 mark.
And only fitting that the the leading scorer in the IHL, would score the first goal in an All-Star game. He leads the IHL right now with 65 points in 41 games. Nice little saucer pass across. No chance for the goaltender. Shabbat on this one. I think we're going to end up saying that all night long. No chance at all for the goaltender on this one. He's on his off wing. They hook up nicely. Nobody picked up his man, and we're going to say that all night, I think, too.
So Simon, the second youngest player in the IHL All-Star Game, but as Darryl mentioned, the league's leading scorer gives the West the early advantage, 1-0. Brett Levers from the Utah Grizzlies moves it deep into the eastern zone, and Shabbat barely got to the far post in time as it came out in front. Jason Ruff moves it to center. Laniel dumps it into the western zone, and an offside call will be whistled on the east. An early lead for the Western Conference at the IHL All-Star Game. 1-0. Back after this.
There's a whole range of things that can go wrong in golf. Slices, hooks, curves.
The club would hit the ground and wouldn't even hit the ball.
I used to hit the ball with a horrendous slice.
I needed some help, and Golf Digest gave me the help that I needed.
Golf Digest and the 8 Ways to a Better Golf Game video will help you improve your golf game. If it doesn't, cancel the subscription and keep the video free.
Reading Golf Digest helped me get rid of my fade.
I can drive the ball greater distances.
Golf Digest took me from a 15 handicap to a 6 handicap.
The Western Conference with the early lead, and of course that always makes the coaching staff happy.
The door openers tonight, Chris McSorley on the left, Phil Whitliff on the right from the Las Vegas Thunder and Milwaukee Admirals respectively, and they're going to enjoy this one tonight, and I'm sure they'll just sit back and let the boys play.
Stan Drulia of the Atlanta Knights dumps it into the western zone, and Beauregard plays it somewhat for his defense in the corner. Taken away and circling from behind the net. Drulia tried to fire it to the top of the slot. That was picked off. And back to center ice comes the West. Sylvain Couturier with a backhander that just went wide of the far post. As that may have been the epitome of what we're going to see tonight. Couturier was just given the blue line and then pretty much anything he wanted. Back to center, the West's Chris Jensen from the Minnesota Moose rifles it in front, and that was deflected right on by Couturier, and Shabbat saw it as it fell in front of him, and he'll hold for a face-off. The Eastern Brain Trust. Kurt Frazier of the Orlando Solar Bears and Ron Smith from the Cincinnati Cyclones.
And Ronnie Smith, who won the golf tournament yesterday, and I heard was the guy who carried his squad yesterday as well, as there were some stragglers hanging on. They got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to whack the egg around yesterday. It was a long day here yesterday.
Playing the eastern zone, Todd Richards able to move it ahead, and at center ice now the Eastern Stars back in. For Richards in front, the pass went just out of his reach from Callender. He'll go in behind the net after it. Chris Snell from Phoenix bodies him up in the corner and over to dig away at it and help out. Turgeon, who dug it off the wall, moves it across. Barr tried to get it back to Turgeon, and that was broken up. Snell sends it up the boards, and now away come the Western Stars to center with the early 1-0 lead.
Hey, right here.
Puck dumped back in as the West had to touch up, and Shabbat leaves it there for his defense. Richards, formerly of the Las Vegas Thunder last year, now a Orlando Solar Bear, dumps it in, and Turgeon from the hometown Houston Aeros has it played away from him by Beauregard. Dave McIntyre sends it ahead and around, and now Snell at center for the West.
Right here.
Rolls it slowly in on net, and Shabbat says, I'll play it, and throws it back up the boards, but threw it right into the forecheck. Cavallini behind the net for the Western Stars, fed it in front. That was picked off by Marois, who came back, and he heads up the right side to center ice. Daniel Marois tees one up, and that blocked by McIntyre in behind the net. Got it back, tried to wrap it around. Beauregard made a good save on that, and finally McIntyre gets the handle. Dave McIntyre from the Peoria Rivermen moves it ahead for John Purvis. Purvis at center just feathers it ahead. And Tilley backhanded it into the eastern zone only to have it sent back out. Seen a little bit of defense in the early going here. Not tons, but a couple of block shots at least, Darryl.
Position defense. Not a lot of crushing physical defense, but people in the right places.
Dave McElwain the other way for the East across the line. Tees one up and he scores!
That was a bullet. An absolute gun from the Cleveland Lumberjacks. Dave McElwain, who has spent the past 6 seasons in the NHL, but before that he terrorized some IHL netminders just like this in 46 games back in 80-89 when he was with Muskegon. He had an amazing 72 points in 46 games, and he has a goal in this one already.
And that will tie it at 1. McElwain, who early in the season led the entire league in scoring, and was recalled to the National Hockey League on a couple of different occasions, back up to the Ottawa Senators, and that cost him the league lead in scoring, but he still leads his club, the Lumberjacks, and he has led the East back to tie this hockey game. 1-1 in the early going. Hawgood from Las Vegas throws it across the slot in front of Freddie Shabbat, and it'll go all the way back into the Western Zone.
And I'm going to try to keep score here as we go along, and you laughed at me.
I laughed at you. I continue to laugh at you. Todd Simon, who has the Western goal, brings it into the Eastern Zone and sends it around to teammate Daniel Shank, and the Thunder duo trying to set another one up, but Konstantin Shafronov picks off the centering pass. Gets it back from Lonnie Loach at center. Now he drops it for Bradshaw. His wrist shot off a skate went in behind the net. Loach went in after it. Gets it back on the reverse pass. Trying to feed it in front, and that just rolled to the slot. And then moved by Hawgood to the near side as he just tried to get it out, but he failed. Shafronov keeps it in. Behind the net now for Loach. Loach wants to feed it back in front. That was blocked and frozen to the side of the net by Beauregard, who holds on to it right there. You had the conversation with Konstantin Shafronov before the game. It's a young man who can score some goals, and he does it with speed.
Oh, Kazakhstanian, I think is the way you'd say it. He played for the Kazakhstan national team in both the 93 and 94 World Championships. One of a couple of rookies in tonight's game. 27-year-old rookie, though.
December's IHL Player of the Month. All he did was score 18 goals in the month.
It's a good month.
Yeah, it's a decent month. Play in the Western Zone. Jason Ruff from the Atlanta Knights sends it behind the net. Trying to bring it out in front was Craig Fisher, but that didn't work. And the Western Stars away to center. Pass on the left side, a little bit out of the reach of Brett Levers, but now he brings it into the Eastern Zone, trying to make the pass in front. Puck came right to Shabbat, who realized it at the last second and smothered it with a glove.
Pretty good crowd here tonight to watch these two teams go at it as well. It's been quite a weekend. Freddie Shabbat, I'm not sure whether we turned his mic down or what. He was a little upset when he got beat early. And he got enough of this one to keep it out of the net. And they just come in waves in All-Star games. It's nice to be named as an All-Star, but it's painful when you're a goaltender to actually play the game.
Well, the teams are all represented with players as well as mascots alike. Jason Ruff digs it out of the circle and brings it back to center with Drulia, his teammate from Atlanta, but he can't thread the needle to him at the line. Beauregard plays to the corner. Fisher couldn't get to it. To the line, Ruff knocks it down. Fisher shot right on. Beauregard wasn't sure, and then he covered it back up. And the league's leader in games played finally got the handle on that one. An early tie at the All-Star Game in Houston. The East and West knotted at 1.
Determination, desire, the quest for excellence. Some have it every time they hit the ice. Bud Ice proudly salutes the IHL All-Stars. Great talent and great taste go hand in hand, especially when you put them on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the ice.
Phil Whitliff and Chris McSorley had a game earlier in the season where McSorley questioned the Admirals goaltender's stick, found out it was illegal, and McSorley's guys got a 5-on-3, but they seem to be getting along just fine tonight. Back to you, John.
It's a feel-good kind of game, isn't it, Daryl? I mean, everybody just lets bygones be bygones. It's All-Star time. Tied at 1, and Dave McIntyre of the Western Conference shovels it low. Couturier tried to give it back to him. It comes out high, and Tilly's wrist shot is saved by Freddie Shabbat, who led the league in save percentage a year ago on a team that saw 2 goaltenders, himself and Danny Lorenz, each win 20-plus games. They were the only tandem to do that last year, and Daryl, they look like they're going to do it again.
Well, he's leading the league in save percentage again this year. It's at 92, and he took that one right in the sternum. Sucked it into the gut area, and he'll take a face-off, as you can hear.
We could defer to him, I think, for most of the game and get the play-by-play.
Go, go!
Puck sent around the boards in the eastern zone. Dave Barr from the Orlando Solar Bears digging away at it. Barr has the dubious honor of being the oldest player in the game at 35 years of age. And the next oldest is Jock Callender, who shoveled it across the line, intended for Barr, and when it came back, it's offside.
Yeah, a couple of old sturdy oaks on that line. A little bit of age, some talent. And Sylvain Turgeon on the left-hand side as well. Some players not dressed tonight that were actually named to the squad, to both squads, mainly the Western Division, I should say. Nicholas Anderson, Danton Cole, and Tommy Salo all were All-Stars with Utah. They went up with the New York Islanders. Can't be here. Gary Emmons, Dan Ratushny, and Ken Quinney all out with injuries and were replaced by other players. We'll get to those as the game goes on.
Those first 3 members of the Utah Grizzlies that you mentioned, unable to make it, the unfortunate call-up, if you will, as Augusta brings it back into the eastern zone, and a slow-rolling puck handled side of the net by Jock Callender. Utah, one of the top teams in the league, and because of those call-ups, Daryl's, ironically, just 1 Grizzly in the lineup tonight.
But they have an all-star team in Long Island right now.
Play back into the eastern zone. 9 minutes into the game, tied at 1, and a centering pass right through the slot, and it is hammered back out to center ice. Devin Edgerton of the Phoenix Roadrunners trying to move it in front. And now here's Greg Hawgood from Las Vegas, who dumps it high in the air into the eastern zone. In behind the net, Brad Shaw moves it ahead at center, and away come the East. Off the skate of McElwain, the pass would have threw him offside had he been able to pull it back in with him. And now the West in transition. John Purvis wide on right wing. One hand on the stick, set it in front, and it was deflected all the way out to center ice. Racing after it, Dave Tomlinson. Gets it ahead for McElwain, and he's offside. He was behind the defense.
Just a little offside. Defensively, these games sometimes, I mean, you're not going to be able to teach a rabbit to give milk. Coach once told me that. And if you want to teach some of these skilled forwards to play a little defense in a game like this, you're not going to be able to do it in a time frame that they have. His club, Chris McSorley's club, has only lost 1 game at home this season. They're 17-1-3 out in Las Vegas. This guy's going to coach, I would think, for many, many, many moons. And there's rumors about his brother ending up in a different team pretty soon as well. Marty McSorley plays with the Los Angeles Kings. Is rumored to be heading with that other guy somewhere else.
Oh, that other guy. Well, the winningest coach in East Coast Hockey League history just wins everywhere he goes. I asked him before tonight's game, he was going over some notes, and I said, is it hard or easy to put together lines for a game like this? Because coaches are used to having maybe a lunch pail type guy that you can put on a line with your stars, but not to say there aren't any lunch pail guys in this game, but everybody's used to being the go-to guy, and I was almost surprised to hear him say it was easy to put the lines together.
Just open the door. They're nicely dressed doormen tonight, the coaches for both sides.
Purvis back into the Eastern Conference zone, tried to center, that was knocked away. Up the board, still not out, and Shaw pulls it back with him and finds McElwain in full stride across the line. Cuts around Lambert, then centers it back in front, and Tomlinson had it in his skates but couldn't pull the trigger. Sent it to the point, Laniel kept it in, but only momentarily, and back to center. The Western Conference, Lambert trying to dump as he was waiting for a teammate to touch up, had his pocket picked from behind. And now the Eastern Conference has Shafronov leading the way back across the line. Backhander by Merwa, gloved by Beauregard, who holds on. The left-handed goaltender has the glove on the right side for that shot and holds on.
Players always talk about guys. They call them wrong way goaltenders because they catch with the other hand than most do. Most guys catch with their left hand. Beauregard, one of the guys who catches with his right. And sometimes a lot of scorers will say they just get all messed up coming down on a guy like that because usually where you want to go top shelf, on the glove hand side, there's a stick and a blocker up there.
Daniel Gauthier of the Indianapolis Ice takes the draw for the Eastern Conference in the circle to the right of Beauregard. Patrice Lefebvre, he may be small out there, but he's a big-time scorer for Las Vegas. And he moves it ahead. They've got the three Thunder players together as Lefebvre, Shank, and Simon all out there together, and they are only the 1, 2, and 3 scorers in the IHL, so why not? Why would you break up that trio?
There might be a little bit of chemistry, instant chemistry between the three of them.
You could say that. Shafronov trying to get it away from Lefebvre, but he moves it ahead, and Shank tried to get it across to Simon. That's deflected high in the air over the glass, and that's a souvenir here at the Summit in Houston, where our score is 1-1, just over halfway through the opening period of play.
Email your favorite Blackhawk announcers at sportsch@aol.com. Talk to Pat, Dale, Bill, and Jeff. Get Q&A with your Bulls broadcast team. And email John, Tom, Norm, and Steve at scbulls@aol.com. Any questions for our Sports Channel Report anchors? Send email to the Sports Channel Report at screport@aol.com. Surf the Sports Channel Internet. Go online with AOL and Sports Channel. What cyber fans want.
The IHL's 1996 All-Star Game tied at 1. Chris McSorley's Western Conference club scored the first goal of this one. And the East was able to answer back. Centered, and Shank alone in front, sent it right on. Shabbat made a save, and now a scrum in front of the Eastern net, and the puck comes back to the point. Held in there by Dave McIntyre. Spins it low for Shank. Looking to feed it in front. He was trying to get it to Lefebvre, but he overlet him, and Lonnie Loach intercepts and rolls it back into the Western zone. McIntyre with a good end-to-end rush got all the way back to get to that puck. But the West in transition. Tilley moves it across the line. Gets it back and scores on a beautiful deflection, as again it was Shank setting him up off the right wing.
Shank's the setup man in this game tonight. He almost scored 1 second ago right in that slot area. But this time he found his teammate. Coming down the middle is Tilley potted one. This is another pretty play. Pretty pass. The deflection, not much chance at all for poor Frederick Shabbat, who, as we told you earlier, is all mic'd up and letting you know exactly what he thought about that goal.
Tom Tilley from Danielle Shank. Shank leads the IHL in goals, and what's he got? 2 assists here in the first period.
On you!
So again, the West out to the lead. And it's center ice. Stan Drulia moves it on left wing for Jason Ruff. Ruff for the East with a sharp angle shot, but he sent it right through the crease as Beauregard was hugging the near pipe.
Tilley, assist to number 12, Daniel Shank, number 13.
Puck bouncing to the blue line where Chris Jensen of Minnesota unable to reach out and get it. Big Lenny Esau just muscled him off the puck and threw it back into the Western zone. Brett Levers drops it for Couturier, and away come the Western Stars again. Here's Levers, the rookie, on right wing with a drop pass for Hoggood. Hoggood sent it across, and it's deflected wide of the mark. Good puck movement as Couturier just went back across the slot, found the opening on left wing. Now Hoggood high in the slot, pad, save Shabbat, and he reaches out to cover the rebound.
There are some people just absolutely wide open. Let's go down and see what Amy Stone has for us. Amy?
All right, thanks, guys. I'm here with Dave McElwain. You put the East on the board. Talk about that goal. You went in there unassisted.
Well, it was just, I guess, a lucky break and put the head down and shoot, I guess. But I got lucky, went off the post in the middle of the net, and lucky enough to tie it up.
Yeah, well, right now you guys are down a goal, so you got more work to do.
That's right. I got to get back out there and see if my line mates can get one for us again. And well, there are 2 guys that can play well with the puck, and we just got to try and create some chances for them.
Good luck. Back to you guys.
I don't think they're going to have trouble creating chances. Somehow I don't think that goal, the last one, is going to stand up as the game winner, as again Beauregard gets the glove out on one, this time from Sylvain Turgeon, and holds on.
The crowd, I think, would like to see number 16 in white. Hot one here tonight, Sylvain Turgeon. First season with the Houston Aeros, an all-star. He was an all-star in the National Hockey League way back. He was the second player taken overall in the 1983 NHL entry draft. You know who went number 1 that year?
In a stump 83. You've stumped me. I wasn't prepared.
He's a player agent now.
Oh, Darryl Ray?
No. Brian Lawton.
Yes.
He said, he told me in the hallway he was pumped to come back here to Houston. He's in the old colors again. Hartford Whaler colors were that green with blue and silver, and now he's wearing the same things, colors of the Houston Aeros.
You mentioned that All-Star game he was in 10 years ago, the 1986 NHL All-Star game. Turgeon pulls it off the wall on the near side, feeds it to Callender, give and go behind the net for Turgeon, who chases to the right wing corner. Circles out high in the zone, now in the slot, again ships it to the corner. Trying to get it back from Dave Tomlinson. Turgeon pretty much been given free rein in the zone as he just owned it for a while and finally had it taken away. Back come the Western Stars into the Eastern zone, and Shaw just hustles down the puck on the backboards and throws it ahead at center. Again, it's Callender who will dump it in behind the Western net where Beauregard waits. To Danny Lambert up the boards. Patrick Augusta runs a little bit of a pick, opening the ice up. Trying to cut down and find the opening, Devin Edgerton. He got the puck back out in front, but Callender intercepted that. Dug out of the corner and circling high in the zone. Augusta, Los Angeles Ice Dogs, right winger, moves it to the corner now. Gino Cavallini of the Milwaukee Admirals circling on the half wall, finally had it poked away, and Turgeon sweeps it to center. Dave Barr there. The East needs a change. They're trying to finish that as Dave Tomlinson's unable to kick it into the Western end. Back come the Western Stars. Cavallini moves it on the near side. Coming right down the slot was McIntyre, and his shot ends up in the crowd.
He ran into me.
Shabbat talking.
He wants a call.
Yeah, he ran into me.
What are the chances of that? Rob Martell probably didn't need to, but it would appear has brought a whistle, tonight's referee.
You just use hand signals in a game like this, I think. Keep going, move the puck.
Stop signs and green lights.
The thing I find interesting is every player, when they're in the offensive zone, has their stick up about shoulder height, waiting for that pass to come to. Everyone's looking for offense tonight.
Face off to the right of Shabbat. Tomlinson against Yegorov, and it ends up in behind the net. Oh, off the post as Malte had a chance right in front, and Peter Allen digs it away and clears. Well, Shabbat went down and stayed down for a while, and Malte, who started this season on fire for the Chicago Wolves, just banged it off the post. Back to center ice. Yegorov got it ahead for McIntyre. Dave McIntyre had it knocked off his stick, and now Tomlinson and McElwain 2-on-2 across the Western line. Tomlinson high to the slot looking for somebody, fed it in front, and it went off the skate of Daniel Marois. Came right back out in front. Tomlinson on the doorstep, got it to Marois, and a pad save made by Beauregard.
Oh, and a dandy, too. It was a good butterfly netminder, closed off the bottom of the net. Had one guy sent away angry anyway.
Joyce for the Eastern Conference, back to get it in the Eastern zone as he feeds it up the boards. And now it's center Tomlinson. Dave Tomlinson of the Cincinnati Cyclones into the Western zone, has Marois busting up the boards. Feathered it through, but he didn't get a shot away. Now McElwain gives it back to Marois, goes in behind the net. Ends up in the corner, set up the boards. Dwayne Joyce, also the Cincinnati Cyclones, able to pinch and keep it in. Marois from the Michigan K-Wings tried to find a cutting Joyce coming off the point. Well, imagine that, a defenseman cutting off the point, but he was unable to get it through.
Good job, boys.
Changes for the Eastern squad will allow the West to clear to center. Puck bounces off of Patrice Lefebvre, pinballing around at the blue line, and finally Lenny Esau sweeps it ahead. Gauthier at center for the East, unable to get the handle on it. And again, quick transition. Simon across the line for the West with a drop pass that was picked off by Gauthier. He's got Shafronov with him, and he didn't see the pass at the blue line.
Just neighborhood passes. Throw it in the neighborhood and hope someone's home.
Simon feeds Shank. Shank tried to move it across, and Esau did a nice job to block the pass and send it behind the net. Joyce springs it up the middle, and back come the Eastern Stars. Lonnie Loach for Gauthier, and now to Shafronov across the line on right wing, and the play is offside. A relatively low-scoring first period by IHL All-Star standards. The West with the lead.
At Continental, we've been listening to you. And you can see the changes. Something new here, a renewed sense of pride there. And lately, we've become among the best in the business at handling your baggage and getting you to your destination on time. So fly us again and see the changes for yourself.
Just coffee again?
We missed the bus.
Your daily game plan isn't always what you expect.
Donut?
My office, 5 minutes. I'm not a special.
Hey, nice report. Got another one for you. So sharpen your nutritional edge.
Be another week.
With Neutralite Vitamin.
Honey, Mom's here.
Neutralite from Amway for your day on the ice.
2-1, the Western Stars have the lead, and one Western Star that has seen the IHL grow in leaps and bounds is Milwaukee's Gino Cavallini.
The level of hockey has really, increased over the past, even from year to year, you can notice a difference. Guys that were borderline last year can't play in this league this year. That's how much it's improved. And, we've got a great relationship with the owners, and, I mean, it's fun for everybody, and I think the people that really benefit are the fans because it's still an affordable ticket in town.
Just over 3 minutes to go in the first period. 2-1, the West on top, play in the neutral zone. And Lonnie Loach of Detroit across the line with it. Snaps one right on Beauregard, wasn't sure. Lost it in the gear for a moment, but Stefan able to cover up.
There is the Detroit Viper. Lonnie Loach was very busy last night in the skills competition and all the skating exercise. He didn't know he had to be in all of them, but he was, and he was a tired puppy. Tried to grab him a couple of times. Get the voice back a little bit. Not wearing his usual number in 33.
Viper captain this season, the leading scorer on the club. Off the draw, Brad Shaw, Loach's teammate, with a shot from the line, and that hit Daniel Gauthier in front. Back to center, Chris Jensen dumps it into the eastern zone, then goes and gets his own carom. Compliments of Shabbat. Jensen goes behind the net, but Brad Shaw takes the puck away and heads up the right side. Outlet pass at center, out of the reach of Gauthier, but he gets it off the dasher and carries in on left wing. Gauthier tries to center, and Beauregard reaches back and makes a big save. It's coming right down the slot that time, Konstantin Shafronov.
Well, Beauregard, we talked about how busy he's been. He's been hit by over 400 more pucks than any other goaltender in the league, and he didn't get hit by this one. He made a glorious glove grab. Watch this save. Come across and find it, and somehow pulled it out from behind him. Pretty good period, I think, by both netminders. Shafronov right down the middle, a one-timer, and you got to find that thing in a hurry. There it is. Let everyone know it's in your glove. Good goaltending. You're going to let everybody in attendance know you made the save.
Even the folks up high, right? Here's Todd Richards just dangling in the zone, and his low wrist shot went wide of everything. The carom came back to the near point, covering that point, Peter Allen. The rookie from the Cleveland Lumberjacks ahead for Jason Rupp, right back into the western zone, knocked off his stick. Drulia reaching for it, can't quite get to it. Craig Fisher in there swiping at it as well, but the Western Stars able to clear. Just over 2 minutes to go in the opening period, and Cavallini rockets one right on. Shabbat made the save. Shabbat barks out the instructions as Rupp sends it rink wide for Drulia. Drop pass to Fisher in the right wing corner. In front for Rupp, and it just hopped his stick. Coming back, Patrick Augusta moves it ahead, and jumping to join the rush, Dave McIntyre. Richards takes it away from him as it comes into the eastern zone. Augusta digs it away. Try to move it to the slot. Bounces right back to Augusta. Pad save. Shabbat on the rebound. Cleared away by Richards. He dropped Ruff with the pass as he stepped right on the puck, but lucky for him, the teammates were there, and then they carry it back into the Western zone offside.
I thought he stepped in a nice gopher hole on his way outside the blue line.
Jason Ruff, who was actually named to this All-Star team last year, but was unable to attend because of an injury.
And a look at Kurt Fraser, who actually coached. He was an assistant coach in the game a couple of years ago. The head man with the expansion Solar Bears in Orlando.
Playing anything but an expansion club. Oh, what a year they're having. Eastern Stars bring it back in, down 2-1. Sylvain Turgeon sends it around the dasher to the near side. Just over a minute to go. Dave Barr sends it across and swinging and missing on the one-timer, the hometown favorite Turgeon. Barr keeps it in and shovels it back down to the corner. Inside a minute to go in the opening period. Western Stars jumped out to the early lead. The East was able to tie it. They now find themselves down by 1 again as Barr waits for the mates to join the rush. It's Callender coming right down the slot off his skate. It's then flipped out of harm's way to center. Onside, John Purvis, who gets to it as he beat Dwayne Joyce. Takes it in behind the net. Joyce stays with him with a body, and Lenny Esau sends it ahead. Comes around the boards to Steve Malte on the near side. And it gets past him as well as Yegorov and all the way back into the Western zone. Alexei Yegorov, the lone representative of the Kansas City Blades, sends it across, and Greg Hawgood will dump it into the Eastern zone. Final 10 seconds of the opening period as Mark Laniel will bring it out for the East. Ahead for Tomlinson, a bit of a breakaway pass that he tried to thread through 3 different Western Stars, doesn't make it, and the horn will sound. The first period is over.
Western Conference All-Stars 2, and the Eastern Conference All-Stars 1.
And a low-scoring affair, as you mentioned. John, usually these things are, well, they are east-west. There's no question about it. But in practice, a lot of teams call it an east-west when there's not a lot of hitting and a lot of goal scoring.
And tonight's first period Discover scoring summary looks this way. Rather short by All-Star standards. Todd Simon of the Las Vegas Thunder got it started from Schenk and Tiley. Give the West the early lead. Dave McElwain unassisted for the East. Tied it. And a big-time shot that beat Beauregard to the short side, and then Tom Tilley on a deflection of a Daniel Schenk feed. Give Todd Simon an assist as well, and as a result, the Western Conference 2 and the Eastern Conference 1 at the International Hockey League's 1996 All-Star Game.
In the world of credit cards, the traffic is getting pretty heavy, and it's easy to get confused by all the complicated new card offers and restrictions. But people who know where they're going use one card, Discover Card, with the cashback bonus award, the Smart Rate program, and no annual fee. For a positive impact on your finances, use the Discover Card. It pays to discover, the card that pays you back. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
Presence is felt. Check out what he's wearing. Get robbed by a masked man. Remember what he's wearing. The names wear.
On the next Sears Schoolyard Jam, Amy Stone shoots the puck with Blackhawk stars and high school sidekicks Jeremy Roenick and Tony Amante.
That one's going to look good on TV.
Plus, we'll chill with some of the hottest high school hoopsters in an annual Chicago shootout.
What's up?
Go behind the scenes with the Chicago Bulls. Plus, the Chicago Blackhawks high school hockey tournament, the plays of the year, and so much more on the next Sears Schoolyard Jam, Tuesday at 6:30 on Sports Channel. What high school fans want.
How can this be car of the year? You can't get up and walk around in a car. Cars don't have seats on rollers. Or so many seats, period. Or so much space for so many things. And they certainly don't offer sliding doors on both sides. Well then, it would appear that for the first time ever, Motor Trend Car of the Year is more than a car. It's a caravan from the new Dodge.
Western Conference All-Stars with a 2-1 lead after 20 minutes of play here in Houston. And let's go downstairs to that Western leading locker room to Amy Stone.
All right, thanks, John. We're here with Stefan Beauregard. Boy, they're testing you early, but you're coming up. You're standing on your head, as they say.
Well, I'm seeing the puck well. I mean, it's a good challenge, good pace in the game. I think it's very enjoyable for the crowd, and we're giving a good show, and that's what it's all about, I guess. We had a decent first period, and hopefully it'll keep on going the first half of the second.
Hey, you're leading. Can't be upset about that.
That's right. You know, it's only a game. There's no points for this game, but you never want to lose. You always want to win a game.
That's right. All right, well, we are in the Western Conference locker room. Hey, here's what happens in a locker room in the intermission. Everybody seems to just be kind of hanging out, looking around. I'm guessing, though, it's not really like this during a real game. Is it? Is it really like this during a real game?
No, not too really.
What happens? What really happens?
We play well on defense, and we worry about no more too many goals, and I think that's a part.
All right, well, let's see where the coaches are. You know, I thought maybe the coaches would be giving pep talks or something. Hold on, let's go back here and see where they are. I think they're in this back room here. Chris McSorley and Phil Whitliff. What do you guys? Is this what you guys do during games? You kind of just sit in the trainer's room? No pep talks?
This is what we do during All-Star games. There's not much to do other than wait for the next period to get started. There's not much we can do tactically or technically, and let the guys relax, and we relax too.
Well, this game, of course, doesn't count at all or anything, but it still would be nice to win.
It's always nice to win. It's great to win. I was involved in the game last year in Las Vegas, and so far I think this is a much better hockey game. Last year I think it ended up 13-12, but this is a 2-1 game. This is a good quality game.
There's a little bit of checking out there, a little bit.
A little bit, and the guys are coming back on the other side of the red line, which is a positive thing as far as we're concerned as coaches.
All right, well, thanks. Good luck in the second period. Back to you, John.
Amy Stone in the Western Conference locker room, where the Western Stars enjoy a 2-1 lead after one period of play at the IHL All-Star Game in Houston.
Determination, desire, the quest for excellence. Some have it every time they hit the ice. Bud Ice proudly salutes the IHL All-Stars. Great talent and great taste go hand in hand, especially when you put them on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the IHL.
Ford Credit announces the Great Percent event, slashing interest rates to just 4.8% APR for 48 months, or choose $600 cash back on a purchase or $600 back on a red carpet lease. It's your choice on 10 1996 models, including Ford Taurus, Ford Contour, Ford Probe, Ford Windstar, Ford Escort, and more. But 4.8% financing or $600 cash back won't last forever. The Great Percent event at your Ford dealer now. Hurry, offer ends soon.
The forecast called for a calm, quiet meeting, but a tempest rages instead. It's often the case in today's international business climate, which is why the employee owners of United have prepared a place high above it all, with worldly comforts that refresh, restore, and renew. United Airlines, the calm before and after the storm. We don't just work here. Come fly our friendly skies.
The Western Conference All-Stars 2 and the Eastern Conference Stars 1 as we return to the summit. The 96 IHL All-Star Game. It's actually the IHL All-Star Weekend, and it began as far as on the ice last night with the IHL Skills Competition. And, you know, you talk about how lighthearted maybe some take the game. The skills competitions are definitely fun, included, of course, everybody's favorite, the old radar gun and the hardest shot. I know as an ex-goaltender, you're a big fan of this one. Letting the guys know how hard they can shoot the puck's never a good thing.
I was actually giving Lenny some tips down on the ice. I think he just ignored me and then went in and blasted two of them in the mid-90s.
Yeah, Lenny saw the Cincinnati Cyclones was the hardest shot champion at over 95 miles an hour. Brett Levers of the Utah Grizzlies was the most successful shooter in the accuracy competition as he pegged 3 of the 4 targets, but he was outdone by the Eastern Conference most accurate shooter. From the Michigan K-Wings, it was Daniel Marwan. He would be the only shooter to get all 4.
Yeah, nice story, too. Guy didn't play last year at all. And walks in and he nailed all 4 targets. Wrist shots, you'll notice. No big slappers. I fired some before the skills competition. I couldn't even break those styrofoam things, but that's a different story altogether.
That was also a timed drill. Marwa had so much time to get those. And then now the goaltenders really loved what they saw after that, including the rapid fire competition. This is like a practice nightmare, isn't it?
Well, Stefan Beauregard, you can see him laughing under that mask, but I swear he wasn't laughing afterwards. This is a tough drill. As you try to go back and forth. Bad enough with 1 guy, try 2. But the goaltending was good again last night. You just try to get hit. Your whole goal in this thing is just move back and forth and hope it hits you. Make yourself as big as possible. And Frederick Shabbat of the he's calling his own goals. I wish you could do that in games. You could actually wave them off.
No surprise, as you mentioned earlier, why Stefan Beauregard took about 6 off the pumpkin last night when you watch a drill like that. And then the IHL loves to decide their tie games with shootouts. There were no shootouts, but the closest thing they had was the breakaway drill, and another favorite of the goaltenders.
Yeah, well, we love this. Actually, goaltenders do, because it's a challenge. It's one-on-one, you against the shooter. And in this little form of footage, the shooters are getting the best of the goaltenders. There was some great goaltending last night, as well as some great shooting. All the players had to go in, and once you cleared the blue line, the next guy could go. So you saw a different guy every time. The players had fun. The goaltenders, I don't think, had as much fun, but it was a good time, and everybody here in attendance enjoyed it.
Yeah, the fans really get to see a different side. Obviously, not just come out and see a hockey game. They get to see the individual players excel at what they do best, and really, the fans enjoy it, and the players really do enjoy themselves as well, and everybody realizes that everyone is a winner in the skills competition, which took place here last night. And actually, if you want a winner, the Eastern Conference won.
That's what I was just going to say. Everyone's a winner, except for the East was a bit more of a winner last night.
The final tally was actually 15-6, but plenty of winners last night as the IHL's All-Star Weekend began Friday evening at the Summit in Houston. And right now, we're through 1 in the IHL All-Star Game with the West on top.
Presence is felt. Check out what he's wearing. You get robbed by a masked man. Remember what he's wearing. The names wear.
In the 60s, there was peace and love. The Woodstock generation. The 70s were, well, the 70s. The 80s had big money, greed, and yuppies. The me generation. Now it's the 90s. Welcome to the I generation.
Tell you what, it was great being back here in Park Ridge where I grew up. And you know, I used to play basketball on this very same court. It's great to see that after 20 years, nothing has changed. Check out the basket right here. Still doesn't have any nets, which is great because when we used to play ball, 6'8" friends used to come out, we used to play till dark. We used to bring our own nets. Then we used to jump up on our shoulders, fasten the net onto the rim, and play ball, and then, of course, take the net off because otherwise it would be stolen. Nothing's changed in 20 years. I wonder if the kids still come out and do that like we used to do it.
Back at the Summit, where 1 period of play is complete in the IHL's 1996 All-Star Game. And John Allers along with Darrell Ray, a 2-1 lead for the Western Conference. And Darrell, it's a low-scoring game.
Yeah, it was. And I mean, that little conversation with Phil Whitliff between periods was pretty good. They are actually getting over center ice back into their own zone in this game.
You know that the expectations are low when the coach is happy just because you get across the red line. Let's take a look at the 3 goals we did have in the opening period. The West got things started as it was the goal-scoring leader in the league setting up a teammate.
Yeah, Todd Simon, watch this pretty pass off of Daniel Shank. No chance at all for Freddie Chabot as Simon made it 1-0. The Eastern Conference came back a little bit later on. A single effort by McElwain. Watch this big gun. He can shoot him too. Let it go from the top of the circle and beat Stefan Beauregard cleanly from about 35 feet. And then back they came. Watch this little give and go. Again, it's Shank. I know you talked about him being the finisher. This time he's the setup man again for Tom Tilley, who made it a 2-1 score, and that's how it ended after 20 minutes.
Western Conference rides that lead, and let's take a look at the statistical story after 20 minutes of play. The shots relatively low as well as the teams combined for just 21. That's almost like a regular game, and the goaltenders had it pretty much their way as they got in front of 18 of those, and no power plays, no penalties. We didn't expect that. 2-1, the Western Conference has the advantage after 1 period of play at the IHL All-Star Game in Houston.
At Solozzi Edelson Chevrolet. Remember, where you always save more money. You'll find hundreds of conversion vans and trucks at a price that will make you feel great. Like this new full-size conversion van for this low price. Or this new S10 pickup for this low price. We have over 300 vans and trucks ready for immediate delivery. It's going to feel good to pay less. At Solozzi Edelson Chevrolet in Elmhurst at York and Roosevelt Roads, where you always save more money.
Hub Arkish.
That's Hub Arkish.
Tom Waddle.
No, that's Tom Waddle. Arkish and Waddle. Waddle and Arkish.
Get the first word on the NFL with Pro Football Weekly, a preview show no football fan will want to miss.
And then there were 4 for the most in-depth previews anywhere of the NFC and AFC championship games. You can't afford to miss our special championship edition of Pro Football Weekly.
What's a hub anyway?
Pro Football Weekly, exclusively on Sports Channel.
All right, we're back at the 22nd All-Star Game, and I'm joined right now by Commissioner Bob Ufer. The score is 2-1 with the West leading. Are you enjoying the game?
Very much, very much. They're moving the puck very well. We're getting some hitting into the game. They've got some intensity. It's been a very exciting game.
Well, it is an exciting night for you. This game is being televised to over 100 million homes worldwide, and that gives great exposure to an already successful league.
Well, it does. We've made great progress in our relationship with Sports Channel. We are just delighted with, and we moved the game to the weekend. We got a sellout crowd here in Houston. It's filling up. It was an early start. Filling up now, and very, very delighted with it.
You started off with 4 teams in 1945. That grew to 19 teams this season. Next year, you're adding 2 more. Talk about the expansion.
Well, we've been very fortunate. We're really focusing on family affordable entertainment. We're coming into major cities like Houston here, into the Summit. And that strategy of maintaining that affordability and bringing them in with a great product and giving them a major league evenings entertainment has been very successful.
And this league has also acquired some accolades. They were recently given the Turnaround Award by the International Sports Summit. What does that mean to you?
Well, you know what, it's always great to be recognized, and to continue to get that kind of media recognition just keeps everything moving in the right direction, and momentum is everything in this industry.
Commissioner Bob Ufer, thanks. Enjoy the night.
Amy, thank you.
Back to you, John.
Thanks, Amy. The head honcho of the International Hockey League has to be pleased as he looks around this barn. He mentioned it was a bit of an early start by Houston standards, a 6:30 face-off, but things filling up, and a very good hockey game. 2-1, the Western Conference on top, and just about everybody who's anybody is here, including the big beaver from the Cleveland Lumberjacks.
Biggest beaver I've ever seen.
The East controls as the second period gets underway, and this is Jock Callender on right wing for Dave Barr. Barr will go in behind the Western net, still manned by Stefan Beauregard of the San Francisco Spiders. Peter Allen steps up and moves it side of the net. Turgeon fed it for Callender, but his stick was taken away in a good defensive play and cleared ahead at center. It was Patrice Lefebvre who got his stick on Callender. It was a physical mismatch, but Lefebvre won the battle. Now Callender brings it back to center and has his pass intercepted in the neutral zone. Turning with it, Daniel Shank, who has 2 helpers, assisting on both of the Western Conference goals. Peter Allen, a graduate of Yale University, as is Bob Ufer, the league's commissioner, moves it ahead at center ice, and, well, as Callender played it, I guess they rule that's a 2-line pass. Those are the sort of things that sometimes they will let go, but not yet. A minute into the second period, they whistle it down.
Jock Callender always has that 5 o'clock shadow thing going on, doesn't he? He always has. One of the greats to play in this league. This is his 3rd All-Star game. 6 points away from his 1,000th IHL point. That includes both regular season and the postseason. He's in his 12th season of pro hockey.
He's appeared in this All-Star game, as you mentioned, 3 times. Once for the Muskegon Lumberjacks, once also for the Atlanta Knights, and now for the Cleveland Lumberjacks. So he represents everyone in the league very well. Trying a wraparound on the backhand, Chris Jensen, the Minnesota Moose, but it went right through the crease, and now Shabbat plays it for Brad Shaw behind the net. He lost the handle. It came in front, and Jensen had it roll off the end of his stick. East finally regains a little calm in the zone, and it's Shaw who shovels it to the near side. Ahead on right wing, Daniel Marois trying to thread the needle, had his pass go off a stick and a skate, and back the other way, the Western Stars. Tilly moves it across the line, trying to jump up and join it. Brett Levers, but knocked off his stick as he came inside the blue line. Levers gets it back and comes across the line with Couturier. Blasts it right on, and Couturier skated by the rebound as his stick was lifted at the last second.
Yeah, Daniel Marois got back, and that's Daniel Marois with the breakaway.
And he's behind the defense, diving at it. Got a weak shot on net, and Beauregard had no problem with that. Around the boards, Dave Tomlinson keeps it in for the East, tries to kick it up to his stick, but has no luck. Held in by Esau, and a bouncing puck bounces over the stick of McElwain as it came across the slot. Dave McElwain back to Tomlinson, who backhands it towards the net. That was picked off and cleared. Sylvain Couturier, the Milwaukee Admirals, across the line. Tries to move it across for Brett Levers, but deflected behind it. Trailing the play, Jean-Marc Richard of the Las Vegas Thunder moves it in front. Lonnie Loach does a nice job to poke it free to center. Craig Fisher across the line for the East. Sent it across. It comes back. Loach down low for Fisher, and it went over his stick. Tomlinson tried to get it back to the point, but Lenny Esau was not there. You know, Esau's a little rare in this game, Darrell, in so much as he's one of the few defensemen in this game who's not leading his team in scoring amongst defensemen. He might be the true defensive defenseman in this game.
It is college hockey at St. Cloud.
And Shafronov comes in and ties the hockey game. Konstantin Shafronov of the Fort Wayne Comets. It's 2-2.
This guy's got some skill, doesn't he?
Yeah, you got to put a body on him in the neutral zone, which makes you know he loves this game.
This is textbook hockey for Konstantin Shafronov. He's got good size, too. Guy's 6 feet tall. Watch him just dance to the middle here. Little shift. There goes the defenseman. There goes the goalie, and right in off the pipe. Low to the glove hand side on Beauregard. Nice little wrist shot from the Fort Wayne Comets, Konstantin Shafronov.
So once again, the hockey game all even at 2 early on in the second. And the Eastern Stars shovel it in, but Danny Lambert able to backhand it out. John Purvis takes a swipe at it, gets it back, and now moves it ahead on the right side. Gets behind his man. 3-on-1 of the Western Stars. Purvis fakes the shot, tried to toe drag it, and lost the handle. Good job defensively as Peter Allen came back, clears, and here's Gauthier. 2-on-1 with Loach. Loach fakes the one-timer, now just takes the shot, and Beauregard had time to set himself and sticks it to the corner. Gauthier coming out from behind the goal line, has it in his glove, sets it down, and spins it to the corner for Shafronov. Out high, one-timer by Peter Allen, didn't get through, blocked in front, and Lambert sends it to John Purvis on the far side. Ahead now at center for Yegorov. Yegorov got it to the line. Allen broke that up, and again it's Gauthier across the line. Gauthier tries to thread the needle, and it was Drulia heading to the far post, but Beauregard got his stick on that. Now in the slot, backhander right on net. That off the stick of Jason Rupp, and Beauregard suddenly wearing that target that we saw on his back early in the hockey game, or before the hockey game, I should say. Craig Fisher cutting in front, got it to Drulia. He tried to move it across the slot, but there's too much traffic. Dan Lambert, not the biggest defenseman in the league, but he's able to work it free. Malte didn't clear. Chris Snell comes back. Saucers it across for Lambert, who gets it out to center.
I like to listen to the goaltenders. It's not really advice. Sure, it's cheerleading.
Malte comes in and bangs one off the side of the net on a sharp angle. Brad Shaw behind the net for the East collects it. I wasn't positive. I would have said I always saw some contact in the neutral zone there on that last rush the other way.
Come on.
Threw me off. I got a little off my game. Sorry. Play in the Eastern zone, and a clearing attempt by Stan Drulia. He got a break, came right back to him. might be using that stick he was showing you before the game. That thing was,
how about the hoop on that thing?
That was a boomerang, wasn't it?
You could score around the corner. You could score in the other side of Texas with that thing.
Trulia backhanding it across the western zone. Daniel Shank comes back to get it. It's got Jason Rupp all over him. Feeds it ahead, and coming back, Todd Simon. He now moves it to Shank, who's in full stride through the neutral zone. On left wing into the eastern zone. Back for Lefebvre. It went through him, and Craig Fisher covers the slot and clears to the boards and goes and gets it. He sent it to the line. Lefebvre did not hold it in, says linesman Dave Cassidy. And we are tied at 2 in the second at the IHL All-Star Game. 14:42 to go in the middle period.
Determination, desire, the quest for excellence. Some have it every time they hit the ice. Bud Ice proudly salutes the IHL All-Stars. Great talent and great taste go hand in hand, especially when you put them on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the IHL.
Just coffee again?
We missed the bus.
Your daily game plan isn't always what you expect.
Donut?
My office, 5 minutes. Another special?
Hey, nice report. Got another one for you.
So sharpen your nutritional edge.
Be another week.
With Neutralite Vitamin.
Honey, Mom's here.
Neutralite from Amway for your day on the ice.
San Francisco Spiders leading scorer John Purvis, the #3 goal scorer in the International Hockey League, says it's fun to come to these games. He says it's even so much fun. And you know, this is a statement. Practice is a lot of laughs.
Yeah, I love this. We were just out there for practice, and I don't know if I've enjoyed myself in a practice ever that much. I mean, it's such a thrill to be out there. Like, I played with Steve Maltais before. It's a thrill to be back on the ice with him. Guys like Hoggood and Lambert, I mean, I could go right down the list. It's a thrill to be out there with those guys and moving the puck around and making plays like the way I think in a hockey game. These guys think the same way, and it's a thrill to be out there.
A veteran who sounds like a kid in a candy store at the All-Star Game, and
having a great year. He's on pace to score 63 goals this year.
Play into the eastern zone. Jock Callender turning off the corner boards and bringing it back the other way. It's 2-2. 14:20 to go in the second period. The Eastern Stars would have been offside, so Len Esau didn't play the puck. Patrice Lefebvre did, and the return pass didn't make its way to him. It'll come all the way back into the eastern zone. Esau handles it there. Gave it away to Shank at the line, but covering up. Good job by Dwayne Joyce, who finds a man on right wing. Dave Barnes streaking in his Turgeon with a drive. The save made, and the rebound sent wide by Callender as Beauregard came out. Barr alone in front, and Beauregard makes the point-blank save.
Oh, I don't know if Dave Barr is ever going to be that alone again.
Back comes Shank with Simon into the eastern zone. Simon tried to center back to Lefebvre, deflected to the line, and McIntyre's shot went wide by about 10 feet. Joyce gets to it behind the net, feathers it ahead. The only man who saw it, though, was Todd Simon. Just poked away from him at the last minute, and Barr will try again into the western zone on right wing. For Callender, snaps it right out, got his own rebound, and juggling it was Beauregard, who then swatted it out of midair, and it got caught in the gear of Tom Tilley.
You went right down the front of his shirt. Wow, Beauregard's putting on a show right now. Here's the initial shot from Turgeon. And watch as this thing runs through how all alone Dave Barr is in front of the net. It's mano-a-mano right there, and Beauregard's better as he has an answer for Barr on that one.
That looked a little bit like the skills competition from last night.
Exactly, the rapid fire. Here's that juggling act that ends up, watch, it's right down his neck in front on Tilley, and he's just going to hold it there. Enough of this.
Levers takes the draw against Tomlinson in the circle to the right of Beauregard. The East having it all their way here in this period.
8-2 the shots are right now. It's all Beauregard.
But all alone, Couturier, who sent it across the Levers, and somehow he missed a 4x6. Trying to get back across with Shabbat, but I'm not so sure he could have stopped that one.
Oh, man, the rookie had the whole far side and fired it just wide.
East able to clear, and this is Peter Allen. He got the red line, tried to send it across, and Levers coming back checking, comes up with it. Shovels it back ahead. Coming in is Jensen, and his shot sticked away by Shabbat as he tried to sneak it 5-hole. Couturier in the slot, and he scores!
Oh, man, is this pretty. You want to talk about a see if I can get this one out. Couturierian spinorama. in that slot area. Oh, they had some pressure, and then he just spins. Sylvain Couturier from the Milwaukee Admirals selected to replace Ken Quinney of Vegas in this game, and he's making the most of it. Look at that little spinorama, and again, right off the pipe. The pipes have not been kind to goaltenders here tonight. A couple of them have gone in off that metal frame.
Couturierian, is that an adjective or an adverb?
Man, I almost had a cramp on that one.
So we'll give you the next couple minutes to find it again. 3-2, the Western Conference just keeps finding the lead. The East will tie it, and the West takes the lead back. Ronnie Loach.
Sorry, Johnny, I was just going to say, it's kind of fitting, though, that Couturier gets to play in this game tonight. He was selected back in '93 when he was with Phoenix. Had an injury, couldn't play in the game, so it's kind of tit for tat.
3-2, the West leads it, but the Western Stars having all kinds of trouble clearing their own zone right now. And Brad Shaw with a man caught in the zone. That's Lonnie Loach, has to wait for him to touch up. Shaw moves it back across and into the zone come the Eastern Stars. Gauthier has Shafronov in front. Instead, Shaw at the line. He lets it go. Came up high, and Beauregard has no problem with that as he squeezes it. 11:58 to go, second period. The West back on top at the IHL All-Star Game in Houston.
At Continental, we've been listening to you, and you can see the changes. Something new here, a renewed sense of pride there. And lately, we've become among the best in the business at handling your baggage and getting you to your destination on time. So fly us again and see the changes for yourself.
The all-new Plymouth Voyager has easy-out roller seats that you can't get on any other minivan, and an exclusive driver's-side sliding door. In fact, Voyager not only surpasses every other minivan on the road, but with a 3-liter, 150-horsepower V6 engine, it has 36 times the cargo space of a Porsche 911 for about a third of the price.
Welcome back to the Summit. Joining me now is Dan DeVos, the owner of the Grand Rapids Griffins, which is an expansion team joining the I next season. You have a $62 million facility, 12,000 seats. What a commitment you've shown to the I.
We're very excited about the IHL, not only where it's been, but where it's going to be going in the next few years. And the building is an ideal place for the I, and Grand Rapids is a great city for it.
What is a Griffin?
A Griffin is a mythological beast. It's got the body of a lion, the head and the wings of an eagle.
Should be interesting as far as logo.
Yeah, it's come out pretty well. We're pretty excited about it. It took a bit of work to get there, but we think it'll be very, very much fun.
Great. Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, John.
Thanks, Amy. Plenty of folks going to get a chance to learn what a Griffin is.
Yeah, apparently they have 10,000 people on the waiting list. They're going to cap it at 7,000.
And the Eastern Conference has capped the game at 3 as Jason Rupp gets a beautiful feed from Fisher as he goes crashing into the boards and sneaks one past Beauregard. No way he's playing tonight. That's saying something.
You are the king of segues, aren't you? That was another pretty goal. We've seen some nice little saucer passes, little floaters across. The guy who had 5 hat tricks last year to lead the IHL sends this one across to Ruff, who finished it off, as I think he went 5-hole on Beauregard on that one. Jason Ruff, who was selected to play in last year's All-Star Game, but had to decline it due to a back injury, is playing in this one and scoring in this one, as we now have another tie hockey.
Ruff was able to play 3 years ago in the IHL All-Star Game as a member of the Peoria Rivermen. And for the third time in the game, the East comes back from down by 1 to tie it. It's 3-3.
All-Stars goal scored by number 17, Jason Rupp.
John Purvis sends it into the Eastern zone. Peter Allen behind the net gets it to Turgeon on the near side. And the Eastern Stars control of their own zone. A 3-3 tie, just under 11 to go in the second. And Turgeon racing in, spun around as he tried to cut from a hard angle on right wing. Beauregard came out and laid the paddle down.
Turgeon turned it on, coming down the right side. Man, he was barreling for the front of the net. Good play by Beauregard.
Well, you mentioned how badly the fans would like to see him bury one. You think he feels a little bit of that?
I'm sure there's a little bit of pressure to stick with it.
Gets it back across the line. Bumped was Todd Richards as he came in, but he got it in, and now Callender digs it off the wall. Tried to set it to Turgeon, but he couldn't handle the pass. And Tilly throws it behind his own net. McIntyre tries the right side, and the Western Stars will break out. Dave McIntyre of the Peoria Rivermen Again, not the biggest of defensemen, but he's got a big heart, and he plays that way. The leading scoring defenseman for the Rivermen this season. Dumped it in, but it comes right back out, and here's Jock Callender. Across the line, deflected to the boards by McElwain. Marois backhands it through a screen, and a stick save made by Beauregard. That wasn't a hard shot, but that was a hard save.
Try to find that through a screen. I'm impressed by the pace of this game tonight, though. We're having trouble just keeping up with these guys.
Marois' lead pass too far for McElwain, and I don't know, is that the first icy call we've had in a hockey game?
I think it is.
And it is also going to be the point in the game where both goaltenders will make changes. Beauregard will go to the western bench in favor of Pokey Reddick of the Las Vegas Thunder, and Freddie Chabot will take a seat on the eastern bench and allow his teammate, Danny Lorenz, to come out.
A couple of relief guys leave, and the relief men come in. Pokey Reddick will take over where Mr. Beauregard left off. Another good tandem this year that they had out in Las Vegas with Curtis Joseph and Pokey Reddick. There's a look at the best goaltending tandem, I would say, in the league right now. Due to their stats, the Cincinnati Cyclones lead the league in goals against average. There's Danny Lorenz, who still wears the old bird cage.
How are you, Ben?
And Beauregard, he's done for the night. You can tell he knows it.
You're on TV there. Say hi, Mom. Say hi, Mom, the camera. See?
I'm going to lose my job already. Just sent Bo up here after a pretty good performance, and Frederick Chabot as well is done for the night. How about this year when he won a game in Detroit, carpooled back to Cincinnati with the assistant GM and the broadcast crew. His wife had a baby, Suzanne. He made it back in time for that. Their child's name was Gabriel. A win. I hear he had an assist in that game, and then he assisted with the birth of their first son.
It was also the only time this year with the birth of his daughter that he and Lorenz broke up their alternating rotation of goaltenders, as that has worked so well for Ron Smith.
Beautiful game. Love it.
We are halfway through the hockey game in Houston at the IHL All-Star Game. Back with more at a 3-3 tie after this.
Pour les Québécois à la maison.
Some of the best memories I have of spending time with my father revolve around Blackhawks hockey. We would watch the games on TV, but what was really special were the games that began at 10 o'clock on the West Coast. Dad would send me to bed about 8 o'clock so I could get a couple hours of sleep, although I usually didn't sleep too much. Dad would wake me up at 10 o'clock. We'd go downstairs, just the two of us, while everybody else was sleeping. We'd watch the Blackhawks. He'd usually make hot chocolate, and he'd bust out the cookies, too. It's some of the best memories I have.
On the next Sears Schoolyard Jam, Amy Stone shoots the puck with Blackhawk stars and high school sidekicks Jeremy Roenick and Tony Amante.
That one's going to look good on TV.
Plus, we'll chill with some of the hottest high school hoopers in an annual Chicago shootout.
What's up?
Go behind the scenes with the Chicago Bulls. Plus, the Chicago Blackhawks High School Hockey Tournament, the Plays of the Year, and so much more on the next Sears Schoolyard Jam, Tuesday at 6:30 on Sports Channel. What high school fans want.
To go in a 3-3 tie at the IHL All-Star Game. Greg Hoggood trying to get one on net, but that didn't make it through. Plus-minus leader at the All-Star break in the International Hockey League is Hoggood.
Little guy has a lot of skill, and so does the guy who just passed that puck, Sylvain Lefebvre.
He gets it back in behind the net. Lefebvre getting it from Simon and couldn't get it in front to Daniel Shanks. So back come the Eastern Stars, and up right wing Daniel Marois. Deep to the corner, tried to shovel it in front for McElwain once, then twice. Bounces right back to the slot. Coming from the backboards, Marois got it on net, and a rebound chance for McElwain as well. Now Tomlinson goes to the corner, digging after Jean-Marc Richard. Put a bit of a pick on him, allowing Hoggood to clear it away. Pass through the neutral zone, intended for Lefebvre. He runs it down on left wing. Turns back, and Hoggood sends it back deep in. 6 members of the Las Vegas Thunder at this game. All of them are on the ice right now for the Western Stars.
It's an all-star team out there. I asked their coach, Chris McSorley, about that. I'll tell you after this.
Because that's not an all-star play. They give it away, but Reddick makes a big save on Tomlinson.
Oh, man. Welcome to the hockey game, Pokey Reddick. But he was talking about having this many guys in the game, and he said it's kind of nice. A little bit of continuity going on his side.
Well, I would say more continuity than any line grouping we'll see all night tonight. Still all 6 of the Thunder out there, and a long shot from the right point. Lorenz makes his first save, but somebody better tell him it's in his gear, and he didn't have any idea where it was. The shot coming from the point, and he was able to handle it.
There was the save, and then there was the search afterwards. There's Patrice, Lefebvre out of Montreal, Quebec, talking to him before the game tonight. I mean, he's only 5'6", 165 pounds, smallest guy in the IHL.
Many would dispute the 6, too.
Yeah, that's standing on a box, some people say, but he's worked his way up at every level. He's been told that he's been too small, he's been too small, he's been too small. Last couple of years, 100-point man in this league. Pretty much everywhere he's gone, he's scored, and he's proven people wrong.
Second All-Star game for Lefebvre in the last 3 years. He was the leading rookie scorer in the league 3 years ago. He's still the all-time leading scorer in the Quebec Junior League. And Lonnie Loach pops one up high to give the Eastern Conference, I should say, their first lead of the game. And Pokey Reddick, who made a spectacular save on the first shot he saw, was beaten over the left shoulder by Detroit's Loach.
Well, you know, Lonnie Loach is enjoying this weekend down here in Houston, Texas. A big country music fan, plays the guitar, and some crossbar music as he put that one past Pokey Reddick, high to the glove hand side. They're coming fast and furious. You can't get a thought in right now.
First lead of the night for the East. It's 4-3, and Couturier for the West fires it right back in front, and Lorenz got to the near post on it. The shot never gotten off by Brett Levers. Jensen goes in after it as well. Jam back up the boards, and Loach, who just got the goal, clears to center. Shafranov moves it on left wing, gets it back. Shafranov sent it right across the slot, and Loach just couldn't quite get to the far post in time. Chris Snell of Phoenix able to get it ahead, and here comes Couturier into the eastern zone. He's got Levers with him. Got it to Levers, and then he sent it back in front, and trailing the play, Danny Lambert pinched up, but it hopped his stick. The race is on to get it back at the western blue line. Jensen wins that race, and now Brett Levers across the line on left wing. Chugging up the near side, tried to fire it in front. That was picked off. Coming back to Wayne Joyce, and he sends it rink wide to the left side. Back at center, deflecting it in is McElwain, who gets it into the western zone. Or check it, it was Shafranov. And Gauthier knocked it loose in the corner, but nobody on the near post to get to it. Now dug out by Gauthier, who goes high in the slot. Let a wrist shot go. That didn't get through to Pokey Reddick. Chased down on the far side by Richard.
There's just sort of milling going on in the slot area. Everyone's milling about. Pucks are hitting people on the skates, and then they take off the other direction.
Gauthier was just centering it. It hit its skate and was just laying in the blue where Pokey Reddick calls home, the western crease, and it was dug out. Little neutral zone play comes back the other way, and Levers let one go. That was wide on the far side. The western team finishing a change. It came right back in front of their bench. Lorenz behind the net to play it for the Eastern Conference. Ahead for Jason Ruff. Waited a little too long for that one to come to him. And now Peter Allen goes up the boards for Ruff, who at least got it out to center. He ends up on the ice as Fisher comes over. Drulia there as well, but Cavallini gets it back across the line. Pass comes back across to the near side and sent down low. Quickly in transition, Drulia leads the Eastern Conference back the other way. Out comes Reddick to play the puck in the corner and plays it to the near side where Drulia is waiting for it. Stan Drulia tried to move it back out in front. It comes back to the near boards. Chugging up the dasher was Cavallini, who works it free for Devin Edgerton, and Edgerton gets it ahead for Patrick Augusta. Augusta across the line, and it swept off his stick on a good defensive play. Coming back was Richards, who then crashed into the boards but cleared it the length of the ice, and Fisher almost got to it as he was alone coming back the other way. Still deep in the Western Conference zone, Tom Tilley shovels it up the boards to Gino Cavallini. Cavallini loses the handle, and Fisher, side of the net, goes in behind the Western cage with it. Tried to jam it in front, but got converged upon by 3 Western defenders, and Edgerton able to clear ahead. Back to center, Cavallini had it poked off his stick as he came to the blue line. And all the way back to the western stripe, Dave McIntyre ahead for Cavallini, who will redirect into the eastern zone, and the Western Stars get a change. Ruff sends it out of his own zone. Brought right back in, this time by Turgeon. Turgeon trying to get it back from Callender, goes in behind the net after it. Comes around to the near side, stepping up Brad Shaw. Knocks it down. Turgeon circles to the slot. Moves in with a wrist shot that was deflected right back to the corner. Turgeon's on it as he bumps Jean-Marc Richard behind the net. Dave Barr goes after it, beaten to it by Yegorov. excuse me, Yergerov, and then back at center. I'm getting tongue-tied by that one as Purvis got behind the defense, but couldn't get a shot away.
I was going to slap you in the back there.
Well, I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get whatever it was out of my throat, and it turned out to be the Kansas City Blades player's name.
Had a little Yergerov in there.
It's too early for that. We're still working. Back at center, the Eastern Stars. Callender moves it to the slot, and Turgeon's shot.
Oh,
it's blocked by Jean-Marc Richard. What was that?
A block shot. Oh, and he meant to do it. He didn't fall down.
Back comes Hallgood, and he's upended as he goes in, crashing behind the Eastern net. Lorenz trying to reach out and poke it free. I think he wanted to cover it up because he's still without a stick. Now he'll get some help as the Eastern Stars clear to center, and here's Marois. He's got a man with him, and Esau banged it off the post. The rebound chipped over top of the net by Marois.
Well, we know he can shoot him, and I think that post on the right-hand side of Pokey Reddick knows he can let him rip as well. It's probably got a dent in it as Esau let that thing fly from about 35 feet.
Purvis finally clears the western zone. The return pass off his shin pad, and turning back in is Marois. Moves it to the slot, gets it back. His shot kicked away by Reddick, and the rebound bang home. Dave Tomlinson has given the East a 5-3 lead.
It's not fair.
That was a beautiful save Reddick made on Marois, but no help in front.
Nobody will remember that. They're going to all remember this guy, Cincinnati Cyclones, Dave Tomlinson, his second consecutive All-Star appearance. He was the setup man last year in the game out in Las Vegas with 4 assists, and he's the beneficiary of a big rebound that came off the pad of Pokey Reddick, and he had about 6x4, I think, to bury that one, and he made no mistake. Look at the save, though, by Reddick on the initial shot. You don't get those second ones.
Well, welcome to the 1996 All-Star Game. Pokey knows what it's all about. His 4th straight All-Star Game. He knows it's a shooting gallery.
He talked about survival yesterday when we were talking about tonight's game. Just try to survive.
3 straight goals by the Eastern squad, and they have a 5-3 lead. First lead of more than a goal for either club. And Tomlinson moves it back for Peter Allen, who redirects it just wide. Dave McElwain, who got the scoring started for the East, was on the near post as well. And now Lefebvre carries out of the zone and moves it ahead for Simon. Todd Simon spins it around the dasher into the Eastern zone. Slow rolling puck to the corner. He goes after it along with Lefebvre. Lefebvre being leaned down in the corner, but not real hard. Sends it back out high, and Chris Snell has all day to tee one up. Lorenz kicked that away.
Man, it went through him, it looked like, and out the other direction. He doesn't care as long as it doesn't go in, the light doesn't go on, and people don't cheer. It's good.
Back come the Eastern Stars, trying to reach out Todd Richards, who jumped up to join the rush, but it's swept away from him and off of Mark Laniel's stick all the way back into the Eastern zone. 2:20 to go in the second period that has seen the Eastern Conference take a 2-goal lead, 5-3, as Lonnie Loach shovels it back into his own end. Bradshaw moves it ahead, and here's Loach into the Western zone, trying to kick it up to his stick, but at the last second taken away by Danny Lambert. Ahead for Lefebvre into the Eastern zone. Moves it across. Danielle Shank trying to take it deep to the left corner. Bumped by Bradshaw. Drops it for Lefebvre. Lefebvre tried to move it back high in the zone, but that's picked off, and McElwain flips it back through center ice. Shafronov goes after it, fires it right to the goal mouth. Gauthier couldn't get there. That was kicked away by Reddick. Now Shafronov digging to keep it in the zone, but Lieber's able to shovel it out. Shaw waits for him to touch up as he brings it back in for the East. To the corner, Tilley sends it around. Daniel Gauthier will get there first. Trying to move it in front. Couturier picked it off and rifles it ahead in a hurry on the right side. Liebers has Jensen with him. Jensen drops it back now for Couturier. Goes deep, wants to center. Liebers had his stick taken away at the last moment. Shafronov got back, and the Eastern Stars clear to center. Tilley loses the handle, and here's Gauthier. Tries to get it back to Shafronov, and he got his stick on it, but that's all. And Tilley gets another chance and clears to center. Weaving through the middle, Devin Edgerton tried to drop it back to Tilley, but Joyce picked it off, and 3-on-1 of the Eastern Stars, and offside are the Eastern Stars as well. Jason Ruff a step ahead of the play. He would like that one back, but the East has taken a 2-goal lead late in the second at the IHL All-Star Game.
Some of the people who benefit most from the Discover card don't even have one. Hi, I'm Scott Hamilton. Each year the Discover Card youth programs recognize thousands of kids who are making a difference. In fact, Discover Card has already contributed over $16 million in support of this unique collection of programs. So as long as there are kids with dreams, we'll be here, helping them reach those dreams.
coffee again?
We missed the bus.
Your daily game plan isn't always what you expect.
Donut?
My office, 5 minutes. Another special?
Hey, nice report. Got another one for you.
So sharpen your nutritional edge
Be another week.
with Neutralite Vitamin.
Honey, Mom's here.
Neutralite from Amway for your day on the ice.
As you look at the starter leaders in goals against, you will definitely find Danny Lorenz's name on there. It has been there all year. Part of that incredible Cincinnati goaltending tandem that you talked about earlier, Darryl.
Put up great numbers in Cincinnati. And you see where he sits, and with Curtis Joseph gone to Edmonton, he's got the best goals against average in the International Hockey League right now.
Second year with the Cincinnati Cyclones for Lorenz, who entered the game midway through the second period, which is now inside a minute to go. He has held the fort, and that's pretty much all you can ask of a goaltender in a game like this.
Both the second targets that have come into the game tonight have benefited from a couple pipes, too, I think. I think that one hit the pipe in behind Lorenz a few minutes ago.
Lorenz, one of 5 Cincinnati Cyclones in this game. We mentioned 6 Las Vegas Thunder members, as Fisher just splits the D and walks down the slot at the last minute. Coming back to sweep it away was Patrick Augusta. And now Hawgood pitchforks it high in the air to the line. Ruff held it in, so they say. Got it to Fisher and dropped it back to Drulia. Maybe one too many passes there.
Rather generous at the blue line there, I think, too.
Fisher in deep with now less than 20 seconds to go in the period. Centers, and Edgerton picked that off. Back it comes to the neutral zone. Esau and Edgerton battle for it, and finally Drulia collects it at the blue line. 5-3 the Eastern Conference as Cavallini goes deep and moves it back for Augusta. Had his stick taken away by Dwayne Joyce. It bounces loose in the slot, swept to the corner as the period comes to a close. And the Western Conference held to just 1 goal in the middle period, while the Eastern Conference found the offense, and Danny Lorenz will take a lead into the third period. Tonight's second period Discover scoring summary looks like this. The East would tie it for the second time in the game. Konstantin Shapranov from Gauthier and Loach to make it 2-2 before the Western Conference would snag their third lead of the game. A highlight film goal from Sylvain Couturier. Levers and Jensen credited with the helpers there. And after that, all Eastern Conference, Jason Ruff would tie it again from Fisher and Drulia. And then the first lead of the game for the Eastern Stars, compliments of Detroit's Lonnie Loach from Daniel Gauthier and Dwayne Joyce. And the first 2-goal lead of the game for either team went the Eastern Conference's way when Dave Tomlinson got a goal from Daniel Marois. 5-3, the East leads after 2 at the IHL All-Star Game.
It was time to change our name.
At Little Things, our signs are changing all the time.
We have offices coast to coast. That's why I called Fast Signs.
For signs that grab attention and build my business.
Fast Signs makes it easy. One fax and their network of stores reproduced our signs perfectly, time after time.
Signs that inform, direct, and sell. That's why we trust every little thing.
To the sign expert.
Quality signs done right, on time. Fast Signs.
Presence is felt. Check out what he's wearing. You get robbed by a masked man. Remember what he's wearing. The names wear.
In the 60s, there was peace and love. The Woodstock generation. The 70s were, well, the 70s. The 80s had big money, greed, and yuppies. The me generation. Now it's the 90s. Welcome to the I generation.
Tonight on the Report at 10, we'll have plenty of scores and highlights involving many of the local college basketball teams, including UIC, DePaul, Northwestern, and Illinois. Plus, we'll take a look at Sunday's AFC and NFC championship games.
It's not a spectator sport. It's the interactive game that puts you in the action. Get ready to play Sports Busters. Coming soon, only on Sports Channel.
Well, the Western Conference Stars led 2-1 after 1, and Amy Stone was in the Western room. Now the Eastern Conference leads 5-3 after 2, and lo and behold, Amy Stone's in the Eastern room. Starting to think you're a fair weather fan down there, Amy.
Yeah, you got that right, John. I only go in the winning locker room. Sorry, that was the deal. But Ron Smith joins me, coach of these Cyclones. You guys are leading the league right now, and is this really what happens? Is this like what your team usually does in the intermission?
Yeah, we're pretty quiet. The team, unless we're playing badly, then it gets real noisy. Either with me or the players yelling. But no, this is a typical locker room.
Heard you won the golf tournament yesterday.
Our team did win. We were great. We had Chuck Watson, the owner of the Arrows, with us, and he was the team leader and the chief caddy and scorekeeper too. So that may have had something to do with it.
You guys are up by 2 goals. Feels good, huh?
Yeah, it does. Team's really playing hard. It just proves what we all know, that effort usually wins out. And when you combine effort with the talent here, it's real good.
It's exciting. All right, let's mosey on in. Oh, Todd Richards kind of taking a little nap during the intermission here. You know, yeah. Your heart okay down there?
I have tachycardia. My heart's pounding right now.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'll live.
I will let you alone. Dave Tomlinson had a goal. Where is he? Hello. He's right behind me. Hi. All right. You had 4 assists in last year's All-Star Game. It must feel good to put it between the pads yourself.
Yeah. I think I didn't have a shot myself there, but yeah, I got a nice rebound there and put it in the net, and I felt pretty good.
You guys are up 5-3. What are you going to do in the third period?
Oh, definitely we're going to go to the trap. No, I know. We're going to keep going here. Keep getting some shots on net and see if we can keep a lead and maybe get a couple more.
All right, great. Is this what usually happens in your team's locker rooms during the intermission, or is there, what do you guys do? Stretch?
Yeah, we're taming it down a little bit, but it's pretty rowdy between periods.
All right, thanks. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Back to you, John.
Thanks, Amy. We definitely believe you, Dave. We expect road hockey in the third from the Eastern Conference, because they have a 5-3 lead after 2 in Houston at the IHL's 1996 All-Star Game.
Determination, desire, the quest for excellence. Some have it every time they hit the ice. Bud Ice proudly salutes the IHL All-Stars. Great talent and great taste go hand in hand, especially when you put them on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the IHL.
There's only one, Bob Rohrman.
The wait is over. The Midwest's largest Toyota facility is now officially open. The wait is over. We have a massive parts and service department, incredible Toyota inventory, and tremendous Toyota deals. Bob Rohrman's Oakbrook Toyota in Westmont, 1/2 mile west of Route 83 on Ogden Avenue. Buy anywhere else and you're burning money.
Email your favorite Blackhawk announcers at sportsch@aol.com. Talk to Pat, Dale, Phil, and Jeff. Get Q&A with your Bulls broadcast team. And email John, Tom, Norm, and Steve at scbulls@aol.com. Any questions for our Sports Channel Report anchors? Send email to the Sports Channel Report at screport@aol.com. Surf the Sports Channel Internet. Go online with AOL and Sports Channel. What cyber fans want.
To 3, the Eastern Conference All-Stars have taken the lead after 2 periods of play at the IHL All-Star Game from the Summit in Houston. If you've been around a youngster under the age of 10 anytime recently, you'll know the video games and Sega rule. Well, it's the same for most hockey teams that you're around, and you can see some interactive sports games soon available on your own local regional sports network.
It's Sports Busters, the interactive game that challenges you to be more than a spectator. That's right, Sports Busters. The all-new interactive sports game is coming. And not just once, but twice during each show, you can play too and win great prizes right in your own living room. Check it out.
Each correct answer is worth 10 points. No penalty for an incorrect answer, but you must answer in less than 4 seconds or we move on. Your category appears here on the Sports Buster board. So what do you say? Ready to play? Let's play Sports Busters.
It's new.
Baseball is the category, Terry. Here's the question. Who's the only pitcher to throw a perfect game in the World Series? Is it Ralph Franca, Cy Young, Bob Gibson, or Don Lawson?
Don Larson.
Don Lawson's correct. Nice job, Terry.
It's fun.
Auto racing is the category, Rich. Here's the question. In the 1991 Miller 200, 3 Andretti's finished first, second, and third. Who finished first? Was it Michael, Mario, Matt, or Marco?
I'm going to go with Michael.
Michael's correct. That's worth 20 points.
It's exciting.
All right, Terry, you know how this works. If you give me 6 correct answers in under 60 seconds, you're going on a fabulous vacation. Ready, set, and go. Who was the last pitcher to win 30 games in one season?
Danny McClain.
That's correct. What uniform number is worn by Yankees outfielder Joe DiMaggio?
5.
That's correct. What's the nickname of teams at the University of Wisconsin?
Badgers.
That's correct. Okay. You got all 6. Woo. This guy is good.
It's challenging. The SportsBusters interactive game. Your chance to prove you're the ultimate sports fan. Next, it's interactive. All you need is a touch-tone phone.
Register to play by calling the 900 number on your screen. You'll be asked 6 multiple-choice questions. You'll be judged based on speed and accuracy.
And the value of this prize is $5,000. It's coming. You don't want to miss SportsBusters. Check your local listings for the time and channel.
You too can join the game soon. Check your local listings for SportsBusters. After 2 at the IHL All-Star Game in Houston, the East 5 and the West 3.
Just coffee again?
We missed the bus.
Your daily game plan isn't always what you expect.
Donut?
My office, 5 minutes. I'm not a special.
Hey, nice report. Got another one for you.
So sharpen your nutritional edge.
Be another week.
With Neutralite Vitamin.
Honey, Mom's here.
Neutralite from Amway for your day on the ice.
When the presence is felt, check out what he's wearing. Robbed by a masked man. Remember what he's wearing. The names wear.
Get to Electric Avenue and more in Montgomery Ward, your price cut headquarters. It's our inventory blowout. Save $20 to $300 on one-of-a-kind and floor-model electronics and appliances. Then top brand names like Sony, RCA, GE, Maytag, and more. Plus, clearance furniture's 40 to 70% off. You save $140 to $1,800 on sofas, sleepers, and recliners by Simmons, La-Z-Boy, Bassett, and more. Great brands at great prices. Only at Electric Avenue and more in Montgomery Ward, your 1996 price cut headquarters.
Bull market right here.
The Eastern Conference All-Stars have a 5-3 lead as we return at the Summit after 2 periods of play in the IHL All-Star Game. John Allers along with Darrell Ray back with you. And Darrell, as you wander into the 3rd period, you have to start thinking about maybe MVP candidates. Some players stepped up. One player who's probably done for the night, I think Stefan Beauregard, made a pretty strong bid in about 30 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he gave up the 3 goals, but that's good by All-Star standards. That's a good half game's work. I thought he was very good tonight. The other guy, Daniel Marois, has played extremely well from the Michigan K-Wings. Has had the puck, it seems like, a lot of the night, and he's figured in some of the scoring that we'll see in this highlight package.
Scoring in the 2nd period, there was a little more than we saw in the 1st. The Western Conference had a 2-1 lead, but the Eastern came back first. Konstantin Shafronov would tie it.
Yeah, nice goal as he walked himself to the middle. A lot of individual efforts you see in All-Star games because there is no hitting, so people are allowed to get to areas where they wouldn't usually go to. We saw a lot of scoring in this 2nd period. Some pretty little plays in front. That one by Sylvain Couturier, that spinorama that we talked about in the 2nd period. And then it was 3 in a row for the Eastern Conference. Rough from Fisher and Drulia, and it's Fisher with the pretty pass on this one as he set the table and Ruff served dinner. everybody gets into the act. We got to wait and see what this third period has for us. Lonnie Loach of the Detroit Vipers gets himself on the scoreboard with a big blast from the top of the slot to beat Pokey Reddick, who had taken over at the halfway point. And then finally, Dave Tomlinson, who says they're heading to the trap in the third period. They're going to try to protect this 5-3 lead. That was the goal that made it 5-3.
And as we take a look at the stats after 2 periods of play, the one thing that stands out at you, wow, how about that special teams play?
Well, neither coach worked on their power play yesterday, which I found kind of odd. But now that I look at the stats, I think they're brilliant.
The East with a 25-16 shot advantage, and they lead it 5-3 after 2 periods of play at the 1996 IHL All-Star Game in Houston.
I'm Tom Pagna. I usually talk about Irish Sports Report, but not now. Here's Ara Parsegian with an important message.
Thanks, Tom. Some special children need our help in their fight against a genetic disorder. It's Niemann-Pick type C disease. I should know. My grandchildren have it. NPC is fatal. There is no cure at this time. We formed ARA's Research Foundation to speed the search for a cure. You can help. Please mail your tax-deductible contribution to the Ara Parsegian Research Foundation, care of the Notre Dame Credit Union.
How many saves can a Blackhawk goalie make in a game? You make the call by playing Southwest Airlines Great Savers Travel Contest. You can win tickets to see the Hawks take on the Blues in St. Louis. Watch the Hawks on Sports Channel to see if your entry is randomly chosen and your guess is closest to the number of Hawk saves that night. If your entry is chosen, you could qualify for a grand prize of round-trip airfare for 2 to St. Louis on Southwest, the low-fare airline from convenient Midway Airport.
Back to the Summit, where right now the East is leading the West 5-3, and joining me is Jim Homerstone from Starter, which is one of the companies manufacturing some of this lovely clothing that you see me wearing right now, the Houston Aeros jacket. And you guys have shown a lot of commitment to Team Issue and joining them and letting the I come into your group of properties.
Right. We're very excited to be involved with the IHL. It's got great logos, great teams, and it's a lot of fun for the whole family, and that's what Starter's really interested in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't know what's my favorite. You're going to have to give me 19 different jackets, okay?
You got it. No problem.
All right, well, if you guys want to get a hold of some of this merchandise, all you have to do is call 1-800-893-THE-I. Very clever phone number there. That's 1-800-893-THE-I. Back to you, John.
Amy, you get all the good gigs. She gets a clothing deal out of this. Wow. A lot of great logos in the International Hockey League, and they're catching on like wildfire. And, of course, so much of marketing in sports anymore is what you do with your logo, and we're seeing a lot of long-established franchises at all sports levels changing their logos just because it can create so much.
The one that jumps out at you in the IHL is Cincinnati, who they were kind of proud that they were voted to have the worst logo in professional sports, certainly professional hockey, and they changed it up a little bit for this season. I like these All-Star uniforms as well. There's a number you can call. And there is, as you mentioned earlier, Johnny, a ton of people at the game tonight wearing all different teams' paraphernalia in the crowd, not just Houston Aeros where we're at, but from throughout the International Hockey League.
You know, you mentioned Cincinnati. I was approached by a fan before tonight's game, fans from Cincinnati who are here to see the game, and there's certainly not a rarity, as it's been a great turnout here in Houston, and the third period has been where a lot of the goals have been scored in the last couple of years. 25 seems to be a magic number. The last 2 All-Star games have seen 25 goals, and in recent history, the third period has produced 25 as well. 5-3. A relative defensive struggle as we start the third period at the IHL All-Star Game. And the West on the short end as they bring it in. And here's John Purvis on the backhand. He fed it across. Lorenz makes 1, 2, 3 saves as Yegerov was right there.
Oh, man.
And Lorenz finally got the handle and forces a face-off.
Well, some pretty stick handling by Johnny Purvis. He was working it around in a telephone booth in that slot area. And then the Kansas City Blades, Alexei Yegorov had a couple of, he was going to shove Danny Lorenz into the net to get a goal in this All-Star game. Yegorov, a replacement for his teammate Gary Emmons, almost spotted a replacement goal in the third period. I think both teams get a little bit of fatigue setting in third periods. That's why you see the number of goals jumping up a little bit. It is a busy, busy weekend for the boys.
2 years ago in Fort Wayne. The Western Conference scored 9 goals in the third period themselves. And now Fisher comes right in, point blank turned away by Pokey Reddick. And he needs to make some saves right now. Certainly not saying that 5 goals is going to stand up and win this thing, but you don't want to get too far behind.
Very often you say, well, they got 5, but I don't think it's going to be enough to win it.
Purvis went in behind the net, fed it in front, but there was nobody there. Now Fisher brings it right back, has Drewly and Ruff with him, and it's poked away. Rolling puck back to the eastern blue line, and Brad Shaw got there. Fisher got as far as the western line, and now Alexei Yegorov back the other way. Into the eastern zone. Sends it to the left wing boards, now to the corner. Yegorov goes after it. Tries to chip it back. Allowed to walk out of the corner and go to the front of the net was Malte. Shoveled it in down low, and now Purvis sends it back down for him. He's checked about as hard as you'll be checked in this game by Turgeon. The pass got to Purvis. He sends it right back side of the net. Yegorov sent it across, and that one was picked off by Brad Shaw. Shaw gets the red line at center and slowly dumps it in behind the western net. Reddick forced to play it away. Turgeon in the corner. Tried to shovel it in front. That was blocked. And out to center ice, Peter Allen handles it for the Eastern Stars to his teammate Jock Callender from Cleveland. Callender jammed it ahead up the boards, got the return feed from Barr, tried to send it in front, picked off, and here comes Patty Lefebvre. Up left wing for Danielle Shank. He has Simon heading to the net, but the pass too far out of his reach. Shank knocked down the clearing attempt, but couldn't keep it on his stick. Back through center, the Eastern Stars, Dave Barr. The Orlando Solar Bears just dumped it in, and it's fed all the way back into the eastern zone where Lorenz will play it.
It's not really close checking or tight checking. It's sort of adjacent checking here tonight. If you're in the neighborhood, get a stick on somebody. If not, oh well. We have goalies.
Lonnie Loach with a high shot that Reddick reaches out and gets the glove on. And back again, Lefebvre to center. Western Stars onside as Chris Snell brings it in. Sends it across and poked off the stick of Todd Simon at the last moment, and Lonnie Loach brings it back to center and shovels it across. Got Shafronov right off the bench. Konstantin Shafronov for Daniel Gauthier. Tries to return it to him. It's deflected to the corner. Loach comes over, knocks it free, and spins it around the boards for Gauthier. Gauthier finds a man in the slot, and Joyce times it wide of the mark as he was cutting all the way in off the right point. Dwayne Joyce, the leading scoring defenseman for the Cincinnati Cyclones this season.
Been very busy this weekend as the PHPA has been in town. He's on the executive committee with the Professional Hockey Players Association, who do all the behind-the-scenes work for these guys, that much like associations do in other leagues, do a fine job.
Patty Lefebvre intercepts a clearing attempt. Simon shovels it in front on the backhand, and Lorenz made the save and then found the rebound as it fell at his feet. Early on in the third period, the Eastern Conference continues to hold a 2-goal lead, 5-3.
When the presence is felt, check out what he's wearing. Robbed by a masked man. Remember what he's wearing. The names wear.
In the 60s, there was peace and love. The Woodstock generation. The 70s were, well, the 70s. The 80s had big money, greed, and yuppies. The me generation. Now it's the 90s. Welcome to the I generation.
5-3, the East on top. The All-Star weekend includes the IHL's Ice Fest, and it included this afternoon a former Houston Aero.
Who is that? It's Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, who played here with the Houston Aeros along with his sons Mark and Marty. And I'm sure it was a big thrill for a lot of people to see him. It's been quite an extravaganza this weekend. The IHL All-Star Game here in Houston.
Gordie also has a new book out.
Yes.
He's been making the tours with that.
Gordie and Colleen have a new book out.
Thank you for qualifying my statement.
One of the nicest men you'd ever meet, Gordie Howe.
5-3, the East on top. We're early in the third. Stefan Beauregard, who got the start in goal for the Western Conference, looks on.
Oh, that's a lovely feeling in a game like this, too. Half a game, and then away you go. You can watch the rest of it.
Work the door for a little while, maybe. 2-on-1, or the East the other way. Gauthier and Loach. Gauthier tried to slide it across and down selflessly. Tom Tilley blocks that pass.
Notice how he kind of went down, making sure equipment was in the way and no flesh.
Couturier for the West brings it back in. Shafronov with a nice job to pull the pass away and throw it up the far side.
Reminds me of another guy in Fort Wayne that used to wear 29, Siplikov. Could also dangle.
Ended up in Las Vegas for a very short time this year before inked the deal with the Los Angeles Kings. Shoveled across the front of Pokey Reddick's crease. Nobody there to redirect. Stepping up and keeping it in the zone. Mark Laniel of the Houston Aeros trying to feed it in front. Loach got his stick on it, deflected to the corner. Gauthier has it there, sneaks it through, and just out of the reach of Lonnie Loach, it comes to center. Chris Jensen of the Minnesota Moose for the Western Conference. Tried to move it back to Tilley. Knocked off his stick, and Brad Shaw heads the other way. The Detroit Vipers player assistant coach carries into the Western zone. Oh! No call from Rob Martell as they put the seatbelt.
You know what,
Shaw.
You know what might have happened? He might have left his whistle in the room between periods.
I yelled a referee in an All-Star game, but he deserved it.
You can hear
the coaches down on the Eastern bench. Making sure Martell knows exactly how they feel. And busting in Patrick Augusta with a shot that was steered away by Lorenz.
He's just going down.
And back comes Marois the other way. As far as the Western line till it's knocked off his stick. And now he's caught in the zone. Touches up and Peter Allen, or excuse me, Lenny Esau moves it ahead. 2-on-1, the Western Stars again. Across the line, Cavallini with a blast save by Lorenz.
And a dandy. You could hear Coach, I think it was Chris McSorley saying, get it up, he's going down on everything. Well, he got a toe on that one. Here's that, was it a penalty? You make the call at the blue line, and as you said, Johnny, that's a seatbelt, a spinorama, and a do-si-do here in Houston. There's that gun off of the stick of Cavallini, and Lorenz out on his angle, fine save, and there's nobody picking people up going towards the net. It's like cheesecloth. You can go right through it.
Danny Lambert with a bomb off the draw, and Lorenz lost his balance as he came way out to make that save. Now Augusta takes it away side of the net. But Tomlinson able to find Lenny Esau, who sends it around and out. Just over 6 minutes into the third. Still 5-3. The Eastern Stars have the lead. On right wing, Lambert brings it into the Eastern zone. Trying to thread it to the slot. It just lays there, and finally Augusta shovels it just wide. Puck to the corner. Augusta keeps it alive, sends it down low. Edgerton tried to come out and find Cavallini at the far post, but he missed him. Impossible 2-on-1 for the East. McElwain and Tomlinson. Tomlinson with a drop pass and hauled down, and guess what? A penalty coming up as Marois is dragged down in front of Pokey Reddick, and they're going to wish they worked on the power play now.
I asked them actually before the game, I said, well, what's going to happen if there is a power play tonight? Do you have a set unit you're going to throw out there? And he says, I'm going to open the door, and whoever's up is our power play.
I can't imagine that
look at how upset Gino Cavallini is.
Distraught, I think is the word.
He's beside himself. He has sinned and he's feeling shame. Bad enough that it's a penalty, but a penalty in an All-Star game. Watch it here. The little hook, bottom of your screen.
Little?
Well, big hook. I guess since it was a scoring chance, they decided they were going to make the call. And Mr. Martell, I don't know, he was just sort of water skiing in behind him there. Just getting a lift.
A dubious honor. Gino Cavallini picks up the game's first penalty. 6:34 of the third, and the East on the power play. They lead 5-3. At center ice, Todd Richards has it for the Eastern Stars. Rink wide for Craig Fisher.
You got it.
And he got it as far as the blue line, and then had it knocked off his stick and cleared away. Drulia goes after it on the far side.
Be aggressive.
Richards
really aggressive, guys.
working the point, sends it now for Jason Rupp. Rupp sent it high and now gets it back from Allen. Little shovel pass ends up behind the net, and there's Craig Fisher. Fisher trying to set a bit of a pick now. It's Allen at the line. And he chips it up the boards to the corner. Jason Ruff goes after it in behind the net. Ruff looking for a cutter. It's Richards off the point, and his shot ends up in the crowd.
Let's go. Let's go here. Thing to do here.
Be aggressive. And let's go downstairs with the center. Amy Stone is standing by.
That's right, the center. This penalty box has been pretty lonely all night, but you managed to make it here with that hooking penalty.
I know. There goes the Lady Bing. My Lady Bing hopes for tonight. You got to do what you got to do, I guess.
And you did it, certainly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he didn't hurt himself. The puck didn't go in the net.
That's still having fun.
Oh, yeah, having a great time. Great crowd. Great show.
Well, we'll keep you occupied for another minute, I guess. Back to you, John.
That is if the Eastern Conference doesn't score. And scoring is Dave Barr. So Cavallini gets an early reprieve from the governor, but the hard way, a power play goal. The East has a 6-3 lead.
And the elder statesman in this year's IHL All-Star Game, Potts won his first year with the Solar Bears. Apparently down there in Orlando, they get frequent visits from Shaq, who's been around the club. He put that one top shelf. That's up where your mother never does. Over top of Pokey Reddick. I don't know if I'd want to face a power play like this one, and that was a Solar Bear all by him lonesome. A 3-goal lead for the Eastern squad. It's 6-3. A power play goal, and the hometown boy Turgeon picking up an assist, and that gets a rise out of the crowd here at the Summit. 6-3. The East has the lead. Still plenty of time. Down by 3 for the West. 12 minutes to go. Bradshaw back to collect it in the Eastern zone. He also assisting on that power play goal. Moves it across for Mark Laniel. For Barr at center, who gets it in deep. And man, as Turgeon got a little jump as he goes in after it and gets it. For Callender in the far circle, he got hauled down on top of the puck, just trying to shovel it to the corner. Laniel stepped up and overskated it, and back come the Western Stars, 3 abreast across the line. Shank comes in and it knocked off his stick, and then it bounced in behind the net. They're back-checking Dave Barr on that one. He does it at both ends of the ice.
Up and down he goes. And the East able to dig it free, and Turgeon has it hop his stick, but it'll come out of the zone. The local hero who picked up an assist just shovels it back into the Western zone, and Dave McIntyre moves it ahead. Knocked down at the blue line. There's Shafronov's in on the forecheck along with Loach and Gauthier. Puck into the Eastern zone, and the race is on. Couturier from a bad angle, kicked away by Lorenz. And up the far boards, referee Martel and Lonnie Loach tangled up with one another. Loach got it free and got it to center. Brett Levers intercepts it. Back on the Western Stars. Chris Jensen on his off wing, trying to let a backhander go. It comes off the dasher. Back to Danny Lorenz. And he will squeeze it and hold for a face-off. The Eastern Conference has added to their lead. Now 6-3 at the IHL All-Star Game.
Consider credit card rebates, gasoline, airline miles, cars. Many can hold you down with restrictions or yearly limits. But not the Discover card. The more you use your card, the higher your cashback bonus award. And you're never restricted on how you can use cash. When it comes to rebates from the Discover card, the sky's the limit. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
On the next Sears Schoolyard Jam, Amy Stone shoots the puck with Blackhawk stars and high school sidekicks Jeremy Roenick and Tony Amante.
That one's going to look good on TV.
Plus, we'll chill with some of the hottest high school hoopsters in an annual Chicago shootout.
What's up?
Go behind the scenes with the Chicago Bulls. Plus, the Chicago Blackhawks high school hockey tournament, the plays of the year, and so much more on the next Sears Schoolyard Jam. Tuesday at 6:30 on Sports Channel. What high school fans want.
6-3 in favor of the East. Pokey Reddick came in goal for the Western Conference roughly 19 minutes ago, and he knows what it's all about in these games.
I love the fitness out there tonight. I know for me, I'm the older guy, so I'm just, if it hits me, that's fine, but just don't hit me up around that, the head area type thing. So whatever happens, happens.
Off the draw, Chris Snell got one on net, but it's cleared away, and here comes Shafronov using his speed through the neutral zone. He does drop it for Gauthier. His shot was blocked, albeit perhaps by accident. Loach goes in behind the net, and Danny Lambert takes it away.
Far side.
Ahead on the right side, away come the Western Stars. Couturier moves it across. Brett Levers goes deep in the zone and gives it back to Couturier, who blew a wheel in the corner and couldn't play the puck. Well, you think Tomlinson's lobbying for the trap anymore on that Eastern bench? He talked about it during the break. The West is, or the East is added to their lead now.
Well, to be honest with you, the shots aren't as high as I thought they were going to be. It's 29-24 in favor of the Eastern squad right now. Usually it's up around the 50-50 mark by this time.
A chance for the West as in comes Jensen, and using him as a decoy was Levers, who took the shot. Lorenz made the save.
But I'll add to that, good quality shots, most of them.
Loach sends it across, and Peter Allen got it on net and knocked out of midair by Loach as he skated by, but couldn't get it on net. Now Dave McIntyre for the Western squad leaves it for Tom Tilley. Tilley moves it ahead and now shovels on the left wing side. The West back into the Eastern zone. Cavallini heading to the slot, but Edgerton couldn't get it to him, held it at the line. Walking right down the slot, Tilley rips it on net, kicked away by Danny Lorenz. And Tomlinson pokes it to center. Merwa got it into the Western zone. Goes wide, drops it back for Tomlinson, and it just hopped his stick. Back come the Western Stars, 3-on-2. Cavallini across the line on right wing, finds the trailer. Coming in and coming out is Lorenz to make the save as he went down.
Keep it up.
Up and down they go. The pond hockey may have finally begun. Behind the net, though, Reddick comes out and plays it away. Stepping up and keeping it in is Esau for Tomlinson in the slot, had his shot blocked. Jean-Marc Richard got it out, and again it's Cavallini busting in. Cavallini takes it to the corner, fed it across, got it to Edgerton off the corner boards. Esau comes over. Had it knocked free. Cavallini alone in front, and he tried to go upstairs, and he went up too high.
Need one here, boys.
Edgerton moves it low. Coming in off the point, Jean-Marc Richard, weak shot, but Lorenz able to make the save as he reaches back. And covers it up. 8:03 remains in the IHL All-Star Game. The East doubling up on the West.
At Continental, we've been listening to you. And you can see the changes. Something new here, a renewed sense of pride there. And lately, we've become among the best in the business at handling your baggage and getting you to your destination on time. So fly us again and see the changes for yourself.
Determination, desire, the quest for excellence. Some have it every time they hit the ice. They score! Bud Ice proudly salutes the IHL All-Stars. Great talent and great taste go hand in hand, especially when you put them on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the IHL.
Well, the goal production may be down, but the butts in the seats production is up, and a nice crowd here at the Summit in Houston tonight. Over 13,000 for the All-Star Game.
And some, as Amy mentioned, 150 million possibly looking on throughout the world. Truly international All-Star Game.
That's what it needs, coach.
Not only 5 countries represented as far as the players are concerned from the international standpoint, but not just North America looking in. Asia, Great Britain, to name a few. Online this evening as Craig Fisher's shot ends up deflected over the glass and out of play. Another souvenir. Unfortunately, the hard way.
I think a bruise, too, to go along with that souvenir. Mom's saying, come on, stop your crying. It's just galvanized rubber. Well, the guys who've been stopping the galvanized rubber tonight have been pretty good, especially Danny Lorenz, who might, at the end of this game, pop up in the Continental Airlines Most Valuable Goaltender. He and I think Beauregard was very good as well in the first half.
Off the draw, Dwayne Joyce's shot off the edge of the glove of Pokey Reddick. And then poked to center ice by the Western Stars, who are offside as they come into the Eastern zone. Well, usually when you're down by 3 and 7 and some change to go, you start thinking, boy, you need some offense, and they might be getting a little bit desperate, but you don't get that feeling.
No. Well, the Eastern squad is the bigger and the older squad.
That's true.
They're a whole inch taller.
And a whole year older.
They're 1 year older. So they've got that veteran savvy going on. And maybe Mr. Tomlinson was right when he mentioned between periods that they're going to shut things down and trap.
Hey, you talked about Cavallini taking the penalty hard. Phil Whitliff's club is down by 3. He's yucking it up on the bench.
Not that sense of urgency that you get during the regular season.
Yeah.
Simon, your unit.
Eastern Stars clear it, but only to center ice, and a chance for the Western Stars. Jean-Marc Richard busting in, poked off his stick by Lorenz, who's been active to come out of his crease when necessary. To the corner. Yegorov trying to work away from Craig Fisher. He does. Tried to fire it across the slot, but Dwayne Joyce parked in front, intercepts, and clears ahead. Julia's pass, rink wide, intended for Ruff, picked off. And Alexei Yegorov back into the Eastern zone, dangling to the open ice, and then tried to move a pass across, intended for Malte, and deflected behind it. And now a loose puck high in the zone. Ruff and Drulia 2-on-2 back the other way. Hoggood may have gotten away with a little interference on that one. But the play continues, and Hoggood goes behind his own net to get it. A couple of Eastern Stars behind the play, but changes come on for them defensively. And I was wondering whether that would be whistled down. The puck clearly coming outside the blue line and then brought back in.
To work hard.
Renders this Western Stars offside as John Purvis nearly got away with one.
Said some nice things about Stefan Beauregard, his goaltender out with the San Francisco Spiders. Said he was really happy to see him get some recognition. Usually it's just the people near the top of the leaderboards that get it, but this guy has played so much this year, and he said it's nice also to have a traveling partner to come out here with.
Western Stars down by 3, have it in the neutral zone. Danny Lambert trying to pull away from a bit of a stick check. Jock Callender, and now Patrice Lefebvre gives it away. Here's Dave Barr for Callender. He scores! And the West now with 5 unanswered goals has a 7-3 lead.
The Codgers teamed up with that one. Barr to Jock Callender, who's been a playoff MVP, a league MVP, and he's led this league in scoring, and he scored a pretty one here. Nice little pass as they brought it through the neutral zone, into the zone, and then bang, no chance at all for Reddick as he stacked the pads, a one-timer, and the Callender kick afterwards as he stuck that one home. There it is.
A lot of guys in the eye have seen that a lot of times.
Yeah, too many times.
Now 7-3 as Callender from Barr gives the East a 4-goal lead. Todd Simon in the corner. Todd Richards is on him. 5.5 to go in the game. The Eastern Stars on top. Simon gets it up the boards. Shank throws it towards the net, just wide on the short side. Now Richards runs it down in the corner. Simon comes over, knocked free by Shank, high in the zone. And Snell tries to feed it across for Simon. Lefebvre got his stick on it, and it's Shank in the corner. To Simon as he cuts up, trying to get it to Lefebvre. Still loose in the slot. Lefebvre takes a swipe at it, and finally Turgeon takes it behind the net. The Western Stars have everybody in deep right now. And this is Shank behind the net, fed it in front, and it finally bounces high in the zone, and Callender able to get it out. Dumped all the way back into the Western zone. Back the other way, Chris Jensen for the Western Stars. Throws it in front, and Simon cutting to the net, couldn't get his stick on it. Puck comes to center, and this is Daniel Gauthier across the line with Shafronov. Gauthier let it go, and a save made by Reddick. Lambert throws it up the middle out of the zone, got lucky, it came out, and Levers shovels it ahead. Shank into the zone, trying to give it back to Levers as he cut down the slot, and that didn't work. Back to the line, Tilly holds it in, goes around one stick check, goes to the high slot, and then all the way across, shoveled it down low. That was knocked free, and well, you're just seeing that drag that Eastern defense in front of the net, huh?
dragnet. Fluid goes through dragnets, doesn't it? You know, I haven't seen a lot of Sandrulia tonight, who is going for the all-time point lead in the IHL All-Star competition. He was tied. I hope it didn't jinx him with that big bender stick I showed him before the game tonight.
Now, actually, Drulia did move to the top of the all-time chart in the IHL All-Star scoring.
The second assist on a rough goal.
He picked up his 10th point in IHL All-Star action that, of course, surpasses the legendary Mo Benoit. So congratulations to Stan Drulia, now the all-time leading scorer in IHL All-Star action.
Now, do you know who Mo Benoit played for? Started with Omaha.
The IHL All-Star.
Yes, he did play a few. Started with Omaha, played in Toledo, and also played with the Dayton Gems.
The old Dayton Gems. Here's Tomlinson deep into the western zone, behind the net, calling for it is Joyce out high. Tomlinson just trying to keep it in deep, and the East keeping the pressure on as Marois was set up at the far post, but the pass deflected away. Just 2:45 to go in the game, 7-3 the Eastern Conference. Cavallini tried to slide it across, went off of Esau's skate in behind the net, and now trailing the play, McElwain takes it behind the Eastern cage. Throws it up the far side, swatted away, and the side of the net, Joyce covers up. Now it's center again. Marois feeds it ahead for McElwain. He's behind the defense. Shot kicked away by Reddick as he tried to come across the slot and then go back to the near side. Peter Allen keeps it in at the line, moves in with a shot, and just missing on the redirect in front was Tomlinson. It comes all the way to center.
Leaning tower of Reddick on that one as he shut down McElwain. Now they're going to use Lorenz as a breakout, I think, here.
That didn't work real well.
No, they won't use that again.
Knocked down on the far side. The Western Stars keep it in, but now this is Dave Tomlinson again at center. Into the western zone. Chris Snell took it away from him, the Phoenix Roadrunner defenseman. Throws it to center ice. Intercepted there by Peter Allen, who just throws it back in. 7-3, the Eastern Conference has the lead. And here comes Yegorov into the eastern zone. Tried to get it to Augusta, but it was knocked away, and Fisher brings it back with Ruff. Jason Ruff, who has a goal in the game, working on Chris Snell, goes wide, rolled it right to the side of the net. Danny Lambert threw it to the corner, came back in front, and Lambert was again there to cover up. Western Stars move it ahead, down by 4. They keep Pokey Reddick in the net. Yegorov keeps it in at the line, and Drulia finally helps get it out, and now Fisher from Ruff into the western zone, trying to turn the corner, comes in and had it poked off the stick by Reddick at the last moment in behind the net. Around the boards, it comes back out. And this is John Purvis for the Western Stars. Final minute of play as he tried to feed it in front, and big Mark Laniel deflected it in behind the net.
I don't think we'll see the shootout tonight, Johnny.
Malte was in front, but they couldn't get the pass to him, and Brad Shaw just clears. A slow-rolling puck that Drulia goes after just for yucks back in the western zone. John Purvis loses it to Ruff in the neutral zone. Now just 35 seconds left in the game. And the Eastern Conference All-Stars on their way to a victory tonight here in Houston. You listen in on the coaching staff on the winning side downstairs. John Purvis loses it to Lenny Esau as he brings it into the eastern zone, and now the final 15 seconds of play. And still trying to find some offense. A breakaway pass just out of the reach of Jock Callender as he sent it back across the slot. Nobody there, and the faithful in Houston cheer the All-Stars as the final seconds of the clock will tick away. 13,000 plus tonight in Houston, appreciative of the effort they have seen from the International Hockey League's All-Stars. The Eastern Conference prevailing 7-3 over the Western Stars at the Summit in Houston.
And the Iceman Trophy, the outstanding player of the game.
There you go, boys. Thanks very much. I know it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
10-9. 2-hour and 2-minute game. Started at 6:38.
I'm glad I prepared all this stuff.
Imagine playing the guitar the very first day you touch the strings. Now you can, whether you like country or rock, with the revolutionary Play the Guitar Overnight by Steve Ross, the amazing home video course that guarantees you'll play the guitar the very first day. The secret shortcut method makes playing the guitar as simple as watching TV.
I just say get it. Trust me, it's going to work.
Hey, dude, this is what you want to get.
Thousands of satisfied people have purchased the Play the Guitar overnight videotape for $59.95. But now, so millions more can enjoy this wonderful program, you get the Play the Guitar overnight videotape, audio cassette, and book, all for the incredible low price of only $19.95. That's a $40 savings, but you must order now.
Steve Ross's Play the Guitar overnight. It's fun, it's easy, and believe me, it really works.
To order, call 1-800-762-4600, just $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Sorry, no CODs, but check on money orders are accepted. Don't wait, call now.
The Eastern Conference makes it a clean sweep. Last night it was a skills competition victory, and tonight at the Summit in Houston, a 7-3 win for the Eastern Conference All-Stars over the Western Stars, who once led in this one 3-2, but it was all East the rest of the way from there, Darrell, and the culmination of a big weekend here in Houston.
Eastern domination is what it was. I think they gave it a good go tonight. They got great goaltending, I think, when you look back on the game itself. I think that although it was a 7-3 hockey game, the goaltenders, as I always like to mention, were the stars.
Yeah, it breaks your heart to have to bring that up, doesn't it?
Houston's hometown airline, an official airline of the IHL.
Well, we're going to go down to ice level where the presentation of some awards will be handed out, and first of all, the Continental Airlines goaltender of the game will be given to Eastern Conference netminder of the Cincinnati Cyclones, Danny Lorenz.
He was perfect tonight after taking over for his partner, Frederick Chabot. A deserved pick. I think Beauregard played very well as well, but Lorenz, anytime you're perfect in an all-star game, you deserve it.
He gets a photo opportunity and picks up the hardware as he made 15 saves on the evening. He came in just about the halfway mark of the hockey game as he spelled teammate Freddie Chabot, who played very well in his own right as well. The other award that will be handed out is the Bud Ice Ironman Award. Last year's recipient was Hubie McDonough, then of the San Diego Gulls. McDonough, who ironically won last year's All-Star Game with a goal in the shootout of a 3-2 victory for the Western Conference. And how ironic. The oldest player in the game, Dave Barr of the Orlando Solar Bears, will walk off with the Ironman Award, and he will pick up a check for $2,000, which he will split with the charity of his choice. Last year, Hubie McDonough gave half of his Ironman check to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I think it's very deserved that Mr. Barr walks home. Yeah, how do you get that into your checkbook and take it down and deposit and everything? That's what I've always wondered.
That's tough at the ATM, I think, more than anything.
Try to get in that envelope.
In this 90s era that we live in, I think you're going to have to go to the teller with that. Congratulations to Dave Barr and Danny Lorenz, the stars of tonight's game, as the Eastern Stars prevail at the IHL All-Star Game.
Justin Luke, please, mate. You're Luke Longley. 7'2" center for the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, just milk. I buy milk in my store. No one's going to believe that. Just no one's going to believe that. How am I going to prove that? I get an idea. Call me mate. Much your mate. Kangaroo.
With 200 games, Sports Channel is your home for NCAA basketball.
Watch this.
200 college basketball games on Sports Channel. What college hoops fans want.
It's an Eastern Conference victory at the IHL All-Star Game over the West, 7-3, and the Bud Ice Ironman Award for the most valuable player in this game went to Orlando's Dave Barr, who is standing by down ice level with our Amy Stone.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, Dave, you knew coming in here you had a lot of confidence. You're selected to an All-Star Game. Are you surprised that you're walking away, though, with the MVP?
Well, I am. I mean, I'm not really the true offensive type player with all the players we had here. I'm more of a hard work and try to play two-way hockey. So I'm thrilled with it. It was a lot of fun. They stressed to us they wanted us to play more game-like situations as opposed to just going for broke. So it was a good game, good hard-working game. Not really in hits or anything, but there's a lot of hard work at both ends. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm thrilled to win it.
Your team's having a great season. They're an expansion club, but hey, they don't play like one, and you didn't play like an expansion player today. The oldest player out here, and you get to carry out this trophy. It looks like it's pretty heavy.
I'll have to get one of the younger guys to carry it out for me. But yeah, we're doing very well in Orlando. We got great ownership there, great coaches and everything, a lot of veteran players, and it's a lot of fun playing there. We've got super fan support, and I'm sure things will continue that way.
Great, congratulations! A goal and an assist for Dave Barr, the Bud Ice MVP. Back to you guys.
Truly a coach's player. In fact, the player-assistant coach in Orlando, Dave Barr, and no surprise that the coaches or whomever suggested perhaps we play game-like situations, and he would be able to do exactly that. The most valuable goaltender, the winner of the Continental Airlines Most Valuable Goaltender tonight, Danny Lorenz, who, as Darryl mentioned, was perfect in relief of Freddie Shabbat midway through the game, is standing by downstairs. Ice level with Amy once again. Amy?
Hey, thanks, Danny Lorenz, the goalie of the game, the Continental Airlines goalie of the game. Boy, you were perfect. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, if someone would have told me before the game I wouldn't have allowed any goals, I would have told them they were crazy. Guys played really hard in front of me, made my job a lot easier. I think I only faced like 13 shots, so not a lot of tough ones really. So it was a lot of fun, and it's been a great weekend.
Heading in, a lot of goalies dread coming to the All-Star game just because the score is always like the first quarter of a basketball game. They really rack the points up. But how'd you like it out there?
It was all right. It was easier in some nights regularly. So, Freddie and I were talking before the game. It'd be nice to keep them under 10. So I guess we did that by a little bit.
You sure did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you, John.
Thanks, Amy. And Darryl, I know that Zen Buddhism maybe is going to catch on after we saw Danny get ready.
At one with the puck.
The East wins at 7-3 at the Summit at the IHL All-Star Game.
When the presence is felt, check out what he's wearing. Robbed by a masked man. Remember what he's wearing. The names wear.
You never really know when you'll need cash. That's why you need a Discover card. Use your card to get cash during business hours from financial institutions and select merchant locations, or 24 hours a day from thousands of ATMs. The Discover card. Because when you need cash, timing is everything. It pays to Discover, the card that pays you back. Use it where you see the Novus sign.
At Continental, we've been listening to you. And you can see the changes. Something new here, a renewed sense of pride there. And lately, we've become among the best in the business at handling your baggage and getting you to your destination on time. So fly us again and see the changes for yourself.
Determination, desire, the quest for excellence. Some have it every time they hit the ice. Bud Ice proudly salutes the IHL All-Star. Great talent and great taste go hand in hand, especially when you put them on ice. Smooth, refreshing Bud Ice, the official beer of the IHL.
The 1996 International Hockey League All-Star Weekend is brought to you by Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beers of the IHL. Continental Airlines, Houston's hometown airline and the official airline of the IHL All-Star Weekend. Bauer, the name of the game. Discover Card, the card that pays you back. Neutralite Vitamins from Amway, the official vitamins of the IHL. And by Starter, look for the star.
Time now to take a look at the Bauer play of the game in the second period. Jason Ruff gets a bit of a historical goal.
Yes, he does. He gets the goal, but it's the assist by Stan Drulia, his 10th in All-Star competition, that puts him ahead of Mo Benoit as the all-time leader. So a couple of Knights and a Solar Bear team up for tonight's play of the game.
Bauer, the name of the game. Ruff's goal tied it at 3 All-Eastern Conference from there as the East Stars prevail at the IHL All-Star Game in Houston by a final count of 7-3. For Amy Stone and Darrell Ray, thanks for being with us this evening from the Summit in Houston, Texas, as we enjoyed the 22nd IHL All-Star Game. Once again, the final score, the East 7 and the West 3. This is John Allers saying thanks for being with us, and good night, everybody.
How many saves can a Blackhawk goalie make in a game?
Blackhawks with a 2-0 lead early in the second period. The play is at center, and Barry Potomski unable to flip it ahead. Here comes Cummins over the King line, moves in, tees it up, and his stick was hooked. Nice play by Kevin Todd. Here's Davinsky, who was open before, shooting, and a save by Defoe. And he hangs on.
Okay, this line has been outstanding. Jeff Jansen golden assists his last 2. Davinsky's missed some quality chances. Jim Cummins with a goal. I think he got an assist the other night as well, but a great feed from Jeff Shantz. The quick shot and a brilliant glove save by Defoe. That was a tough shot to complete. He was facing towards the corner and still shot back to his left. Got a lot on it. Prior to that, Kevin Todd made an excellent play on Jim Cummins on a 2-on-1 situation. He looked, the defenseman peeled away. He was going to crank it up and let it go, and Todd hooked his stick at the last second, prevented a tough chance.
Now Ulanov. Now his pass deflected to the near side. Taken by the Kings, Dmitry Kristich. Clears it to the Chicago line. Ulanov looks for Nichols, who